Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Witchy Wednesday chat. And my name is Majabella, and I have with me Blue Whisper, Reagan from Pagan's Naturalist, and Spin Pixie. So say hi, everybody. Or are y'all all on mute?
Hello.
All right. Okay. So, we have a lot to talk about. Let's talk about the Planet Pathings. Ben, talk about your new channel.
Okay, so Planet Pathlings was designed to help people who are new to their path. I was not a fan of the term newbie witches because I don't think that anyone's really a new witch. I think that it's basically something that we're all born with the ability to do, whether or not we find it or not is the difference. So it's not being, it's more the path to do. So that was the idea behind the term pathling, and so I started this collaboration channel to take a different kind of look at different topics for the newer, the witches who are new to the path. And so far, I think that we've done a pretty damn good job with taking elements and taking different, topics and taking a look at the different perspectives. And all of these ladies are my co-creators on.
Yes, we are, and thank you for inviting me. And I think we all did a very good job on the elements last week. So.
And we're gonna kill it on the topic of magic this week because I think we're taking a look in a different way than anyone is. Like everybody's talking about spells and whatnot. We're actually talking about the old origins of the cultures, in the fact versus fiction, politics, mythology, and archetypes, and we're taking a different look at magic than I've seen other collaboration channels do before.
Can I add to that, please?
Sure can, Blue.
Okay, one of the things that I've noticed and my observation about what we're doing in this collaboration that sets us apart from some of the other collaborated channels is that we are on the same page. We stick to, we discuss everything as a group, and we come together and decide what kind of topics, and we are trying to prevent misinformation, so we go researching and looking for the facts and not giving just, I mean, yeah, we might put our opinions in there at some times, making it known that it's our opinion, but we do present the facts that we learn from our research. It's really important, I feel, that, you know, when you're on a certain path or whatever, that you should learn and know the origins and everything you can about your god or goddess. And so we're talking about magic and the different things, and we will be touching on a lot of these things, I'm sure, because there's so much information out there. But one thing that we do is we communicate, and we try to kind of stick close to what we're doing by having like an assigned project that we're presenting. So that way it's more organized. And this is not just like a place, it's not a vlog, it's not like a personal vlog for us, but just a place that we can come to and help to teach things that, you know, that need to be known. You know, I mean, where does magic come from? And this is what we're setting out to do, is answer some of these questions and where things originated, where they, you know. So we're trying to prevent. How do I keep saying that? We're trying to present factual evidence and things like that that support magic, and as a team, and we are truly a team.
What I like is how we're finding that when we do our different research for the different topics, it kind of bleeds into what the other person is doing, so that when we meet on Friday to do the live Q&A and recap, you know, we all have to contribute because everything that we did touched upon subject that somebody else is doing. And so then when we meet on Fridays, it's a chance to put it all together.
This is true, but as I did the subject of mythology this week, we do have to keep in mind that fact is blurred in the mythology stories that are presented to present a larger truth. Um, that can be kind of blended in there to, um, like Reagan likes to do, the more modern type aspects that she brings into her practice. And it is just as relevant because it is a modern day mythology basically that she's using. So mythology kind of makes it not so much fact, but more, I don't know how you would even present it. The lines get blurred on what is fiction, because that's one of the things that the Christian religion has gone after us as witches. They have said that we are going after these pagan gods, and we worship these gods, and we're idol worshiping stuff. When they don't realize that they have taken from the same mythology and created their holy text with the same type mythology, switch the words around, but it's the same myth going back and forth throughout all the cultures. And the mythology isn't because it is a true story. It is because it is a story that explains a larger truth into our subconscious and our psyches. And very interesting topics will come about when we start dealing with magic, because we kind of blur the line of being in reality and being in the other reality that we attempt to go into. That's one of the fascinating things I think I like about the subjects that we cover, is because there's really a whole lot of leeway and not so much right and wrong. It's just a matter of what opens up that psyche for ourselves so that we can go and get to the other side to get what we need done.
Wouldn't you agree, though, that every story in mythology and everything would probably have a factual base?
No. It is a psychological base. And so it's trying to explain the actual story. It was a way of communicating an idea.
Right.
And an idea is not necessarily, do I believe that my goddess Hecate actually walked this earth? No. She's an energy. She is a thing that crosses barriers culturally from one end of the earth to the other. She was brought up in images in people's subconscious and their dream expression and stuff like that. But to relay that energy, there was a story that was brought to it. That would be like saying that, oh, when she died, she became that constellation up there. She didn't become that constellation, but they knew from the movement of astrology that there was an energy pathway connected to that constellation or that planet. And they were very attuned to how everything was playing out, but to explain this energy, they had to create a story.
Sort of like what the Christians would believe a parable was, correct?
Exactly.
Okay,
these are mythologies, and
yes.
Those mythologies are there to teach that larger lesson.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing as Aesop's fables. It's teaching the child. Fairy tales teach children lessons. So that's what Hansel and Gretel was about. That's what these stories teach, lessons, and these lessons open up psychic pathways in ourselves. So it opens us to the energy expressions. So there's a lot of things that in what we deal with spiritually, it cannot be proven. It's that we work in a different realm than something that is provable. Science has a different measure of what's provable, and even science is not provable. They give you theories. and they give you the best educated guess until the next thing comes along that disproves everything that you knew before. Science
Yeah.
has changed over and over again, but that is a religion, and yes, science is a religion as well, that tries to go after, we are the truth, and y'all are all stupid because y'all don't deal in facts.
Well,
They say they deal in facts, whereas here is Neil Tyson. What's his name? Neil
Neil deGrasse
Tyson.
Tyson. Yeah.
Yeah. Here he is making fun of people for thinking Pluto is a planet. And because he's the one that came up with the theory that Pluto wasn't a planet. Well, he was just disproven when that
We actually
satellite
got
made
there.
there, and it is a living, growing planet with volcanoes and everything else. The reason they did not want to consider it to be a planet is because then they would have to consider a whole lot of debris in the Kepler belt that Pluto floats in to
As
be
planets.
planets as well. And now they have to, and they didn't want to. So that is your science based in fact. It wasn't based in fact, it was based in assumption. And
Right.
it's never, truth is never fully known, and we won't know until we're literally floating back into the matter of the star stuff we came from, basically.
Well,
You just
and
kind of,
yeah, and the whole concept of science, in the first place, separated from magic, basically,
yes.
came about because of the church. Because, the Christians said, well, you need to differentiate. This is all magic and evil and the devil, and it's like, no. This
Mm-hmm.
is nature, and they had to make a distinction and divide and say this is natural science and this is nature. But yeah, sure, we'll call that the dark bad stuff that we have to stay away from, so that we can still have that distinction of magic, the dark magic. But it's okay. This is science. This isn't magic. This is science. This
Yeah.
is okay. Just so that those studies could continue and we could get to even explore more into our natural world and make the advances we have in medicine and everything. And every single bit of it is open to interpretation. And a scientific method, when you're doing experiments or whatever, there's going to be bias, and it's going to be flawed just because we're human.
Well, first of all, once they knew about quantum physics, they realized that once the observer observed something, is when it tainted it one way or the other. And there was the superposition that things could be in a million different spaces at once until the observer observed, and then it became into one solid form. Once someone observed it, it became into its fixed position. So there you go. Science
Yeah.
can prove itself just based on their own thoughts and feelings, influence it, which is what we do as witches. We influence our outcomes through our thought process and emotions. Quantum physics explains how we do it.
Mm-hmm.
Science and magic are very much
It's
together.
the same thing, yeah.
And I mean, we have layers of all of this stuff, and
And magic was, yeah, I mean, magic was the term we used to explain the unexplained. And then even as those things were explained, now it's science, but it's still magic. It's still the same thing. It's just that we have a different grasp of what it is. I mean, it doesn't change the initial concept or idea.
Well,
I had
isn't witchcraft is where chemistry stemmed from, even.
Exactly.
yeah,
Almost
alchemy.
every science that there is came from a magic lineage. It was the culture of the time, the people trying to explain what they were observing around them and trying to learn more and more about how things worked, operated. But they also were closer to nature, so they knew the movements of the planets and they knew how the planet was affecting us. But we also have those sages, we have those shamans, we have those gurus. They were called a bunch of different things depending on what part of the world they were from.
Mm-hmm.
They were people who could leave their body and see things. But how did they know about all those planets? And how did they know to name Neptune Neptune? When you go now to YouTube and you pull up the sounds of the planet that one of the, I think it was Cassini, went and recorded the electromagnetic field, because there is no sound in space, but they put off an electromagnetic vibration. And they created a computer program to record that electromagnetic vibration, which becomes a CD, which is how our music is recorded on a CD. And each planet had a very unique sound. If you listen to Neptune, it's the sound of rain. How did they know that to name it after that god, Poseidon, Neptune? How did they know that planet of all the planets needed to be named that? You know, each one of them corresponds to the mythology, but there was a reason, a deeper reason why they connected and named those planets what they named them. Pluto in particular, okay, Hades or Pluto, how did they know that he would be the lord of the underworld, the cold place? They didn't know that it was an icy planet that actually has volcanoes on it. It has volcanoes on it actually growing and expanding. It is a living, breathing planet, even though it's covered in ice. Those ancients time traveled. They went places. They have been, you know, they left their body. They had skills that we have lost contact with, and we're starting to learn to get those back. And now people, they'll make fun of New Age philosophies and New Age this and that. But if you've ever had an out-of-body experience, no one can tell you didn't have that experience.
I can remember my mother making fun of Shirley MacLaine, and you know, I don't think she's so crazy anymore.
Yeah, the only ones I think are crazy is that when every single person that tells you that they've gone back into their past lives, and everybody is a Cleopatra. I'm sorry, but you can't have 95,000 people who were Cleopatra. Some of us were that slave building that pyramid. You know, I'm sorry, but some of us weren't the, you know. But if you take me back and you regress me, and I come back and I say, I was a Native American and I was starving because the buffalo had died and it was really a bad time, I might believe that. Because that's more real to me, because very few of us were, nobody says they were Marie Antoinette and got their head chopped off.
Right.
Nobody says I was Napoleon.
Hitler.
Yeah. Nobody comes back and says, "Oh, I was Hitler." No, nobody says that. But everybody is Cleopatra. It's like, well, you wanted to be Cleopatra, okay?
I don't know if you remember ever watching. I don't know if you guys like this or not, but I used to watch Roseanne, and there was a time that she and her sister went to a spa. And they did this past life regression, and Jackie sits there and goes, I was a leper. Everything kept falling off.
Well, and I think that
I believed, okay, that I believe.
Yeah. Well, and I think ultimately that's the biggest hurdle that we have, is that ego and money come into play, and that's what clouds it, because it's, oh, me too, oh, everybody wants to set themselves aside and above everybody else, and it's like, just stop that.
Exactly.
and be real with it, and there's a lot there without having to make up these glorious tales and stories.
My totem animal is a wolf.
Mine's
everybody. I don't know how many times pages and stuff I'd read over and over again, and they're talking about their spirit animal or their
wolves
totem animal.
crows.
It's always wolves and, well, I see more wolves than anything, and You know, it might be true for
but that's
some.
legitimate. I
Yeah.
used to discount myself with the big cats, but ever since I was like 3 or 4, I always had like a big cat walking beside me. And it didn't necessarily happen to be a tiger. Sometimes it was a tiger. Sometimes it was a leopard. Sometimes it was, the black version of the leopard, a black panther. But I used to discount that as my totem animal until I realized I was born in the year of the tiger. And when I got put in hypnosis and they took me down, and I had a psychic being doing that, I was laying there with a leopard. So the leopard was always there, and then my goddess that attached herself to me is the jaguar goddess, which is just a jaguar, is just a leopard in South America. So all this time, since the time I was as young as I can remember, I felt like I had a big cat walking beside me. And the cat changed to what I needed, the energy that I needed. So don't discount what is there with you, because there's a lot to that. I've never had a wolf come up as a totem animal to me, ever. So,
Mine's a
Neither have I.
wombat.
what was that?
Mine is a wombat.
Okay.
That's how it works.
That is how it works. You can't. And the thing is, you'll have more than one totem animal.
Yeah.
They come to you to give you messages just like gods and goddesses do. And it's an energy that you need to be walking with for that moment in time. And maybe you do need the wolf, and no, maybe there's a lot of people who just like wolves or whatever, but what they're drawn to is the lessons that they learn as well. So I don't discount that so much as if 20 people are in a room and they regress and everybody comes back as Cleopatra.
Right.
Then I have a problem.
For me, I think that totem animals can also reside within the spirit of a person. For example, I wouldn't say that my totem animal was an owl per se, but a lot of the people that I know who are older, who have more experience than me, I see them as being owl spirits. Like, for example, my grandmother was definitely an owl spirit to me, and I wouldn't call it owl my totem. They just seem to follow me throughout my life. So,
Right.
and not necessarily in their form, but in the crone form, or in the spirit of somebody who's wise, knowledgeable, or possesses that same sort of aura or energy as an owl.
Exactly.
Well, right now, mine is the one that I'm really, well, one of them, but I'm really afraid of is spiders. And so right now it's a spider for me, and I don't know why, because I never liked spiders.
Well, your totem doesn't have anything to. I mean, if there's an animal, a spirit animal that's around you, you fear it. That's the lesson you needed to learn. Is the lesson that the spider can teach you.
Right.
I hate snakes. I come from South Texas. Rattlesnakes abound. But what shows up in my power dreams was a large anaconda, a big giant friggin' python. So, and I am not a snake person, and I did not appreciate that. But my jaguar goddess has this big giant python wrapped around her head. It was part of her. She was coming to me. Her animals that were around her, she was sending to me. So sometimes those totem animals are attached to a deity that is walking with you that you just don't recognize as the deity, and it's showing up as the spirit animal that are with them or associated with them. So what's Spin's spirit animal?
Huh? Oh,
what's your spirit animal? And then I'm going to ask Reagan what the wombat covers, because she stumped me on that one. I don't know what the wombat is. The only thing I know about wombats is if you're trying to survive in the outback of Australia, you have two choices for your fat source, and you must eat some of that fat. and that's grub worms or a wombat. That's the only thing that's just a stuck piece of dead knowledge in my brain. Because everything is so lean, you will die if you don't eat fat. So you have to eat one of the two.
A lot of my are definitely wolves, but also hawks or ravens.
Very good. Awesome. So what does the hawk do different than the raven?
It's a different energy. The raven's more of a watchful protector, and the hawk is more of me being watchful. Comes up when I need to be watchful of something.
Awesome. What's the wolf do for you?
When the wolf comes up for me, it's a source of roots, like getting back to what is, where I guess family, sticking closer to home, things of that nature. It has to do with my home life.
Reagan, okay, now tell us what this wombat does, because I am just, and I think Blue has a cat totem. I don't think
I know, right?
Yeah,
I don't think that's a wolf totem. I think it's a
I do have a cat totem. Yes, I do.
Okay, so when I discovered that the wombat was my spirit animal, it kept coming to me repeatedly. I did a little research, so I'll just read this to you real quick. It's being underestimated or undervalued by society, intelligence, quickness of thought, play, rightful aggression, correcting misunderstanding, stability, the foundation of your situation, understanding multiple levels of any situation, structure, creating a world grounded in inner trust. And there's a lot of it's that grounding and having that playful side. I mean, have you seen the video of the world's largest wombat?
Why, no, I have not.
It's adorable. He's
I
adorable.
will have to put that on my watch list.
It's so cute, but it's being able to see and accept truths and not feeling the need to constantly go around putting everybody in check, but knowing yourself and being confident with your own understanding of things, and having that inner peace and the playfulness along with the intelligence and the keeping things light in life. And that was really important for me because I mean, my whole life has been nothing but some bullshit. I've been through some things, but I always keep my sense of humor and try to be as light about it as I can. And I'm pretty well grounded and pretty well at peace with myself regardless of whatever is thrown at me. And I just power through it and just, slow and steady get through what I need to do. And, it was funny because, this wombat. You know what it's like to have recurring dreams where there's a talking wombat telling you about your whole, and then I make friends with somebody.
No, I don't know what that's like, but that's priceless.
Yeah, and then I make friends with somebody who is like a dear friend, and I think so highly of, and come to find out his nickname in college was Wombat. and so technically my spirit animal is actually a Cameron, but. But and then when I started doing the research into it and stuff, I was like, yeah, this is what I need in my life, and this does make a lot of sense. And it's and even the physical aspect of it is it's not to be discounted just because it's a little fuzzy dumpy animal,
Yeah.
So that's.
As an empath, I needed the power of my cats around me, the big cats. They protected me. They walked as my protector. So, yeah, I totally get it.
Yeah.
So, Blue, what does the wolf do for you?
That would be Spin that has the wolf.
Oh, I thought you had the wolf. Or you
No,
just...
I have spiders.
Oh.
Saying that they have
Okay,
wolves.
what is this? What have
So,
you...
by Blue's definition, full of shit.
What did the
what was
spiders do for
the
me?
yeah, what have you learned about the spider?
They're still scary. And I will still stand on my chair and throw shoes at them.
You know, the glitter body spray.
I was actually bitten by a brown recluse on my foot back in 2012, in the summer of 2012. It was one of the most painful things. But when you think about the venom in certain spiders, it's very powerful. Something so small and so tiny could do so much damage. So I think it's, my lesson is knowing how to contain and use the power we have when we need it, whether it's good or bad, because even bad medicine is sometimes a good thing, such as I know scientists and chemists have been using the venom from spiders and snakes in order to develop medicines, antivenoms, and things like that. So there's a lesson in it, but I'm still afraid of them. I'm not 100% because the spider only just in the last few months has showed up as my spirit animal. Before that, it was just a cat. There for a while, it was a lion. A couple of years ago, it was a lion. But the spiders only recently showed up, and I really haven't studied a whole lot of it yet. But I do feel like it has something to do with bad things some things that seem bad are not always necessarily bad.
Oh yeah, that's very true.
But I will still throw a shoe at them.
Well, your totem animal is really a spirit animal, so it's okay. It's okay. I don't think they'll hold it against you if you kill a spider.
Well, I don't kill them. I'm too afraid of. I get somebody else to do it for me. It's like, Willie, here, kitty, come get the spider.
Real quick, some of the meanings and common meanings for spiders are patience, receptivity, feminine energy, creativity, weaver of life's fate, shadow self, dark aspects of life or personality. So yeah, and it says the spider as a spirit animal offers many interpretations. Its symbolism has both a dark and light side, reflecting its connection with life's many facets. So yeah.
That resonates with me.
Yeah, the Native American usually has a grandmother spider that waved the web of life. Everything about it came from the spider web, so it's very positive in Native American.
Well, and I always think of the story of
Arachnia and stuff like that. That's very...
I'm sorry.
You broke up, Spin. We didn't
I said
hear
even
you.
if you look at dream catchers, I was just saying that dream catchers are very web-like. So
yeah, they are.
Yes.
Yeah, they are. But I always, when it came into my life, I think of Athena the Weaver, and the story, Arachnia.
Well, a spider tried to kill my husband, so they hold a very dear place in my heart. But it failed, so oh well.
Oh, that's too funny.
It cost us like $15,000 because it really did almost kill him. It was a brown recluse that bit him on the back underneath the shoulder blade, but it did this in the 80s when AIDS was coming about, but yet they hadn't named it yet. So the medical profession was terrified, and when it bit him, it had strep on the spider.
Ooh.
So as it injected the poison, it also injected strep with it. So the strep went into his bloodstream. And I had just come off a week of working retail the week before Christmas with the flu. So I worked with 103 fever and a children's clothing store. And when he started coming down with the flu and telling me that I feel like I'm dying, I can't go to work, I'm just telling him, get your ass up. You're going to work. You're going to work. I had no sympathy. Because he was running fever. But I had run fever, and so I was like, no sympathy whatsoever.
Men are
And
such
so
babies.
I went to work, and he was sitting there at the kitchen table going, but I don't feel good. And I was like,
Here he
I
had
went to
infection
work,
running through him.
and he called his mother. And his mother came in and took him to the hospital. and, and they laid him in the emergency room but wouldn't treat him because they saw the thing on his back, but they thought they were getting scared because they didn't know what this AIDS thing was, and all this stuff, because this was like 84.
Mm-hmm.
And so they were terrified, and they wouldn't even start treatment on him. Came out and told my mother-in-law that he was probably a drug addict. And my mother-in-law is calling me. They're telling me my son's a drug addict. And I'm like, oh, God bless it. And I go down there and I'm like, what the hell is going on here? And he goes, well, you don't know. You're not with your husband 24 hours a day. And I said, I know my husband's not a drug addict. And he goes, he's a lot of things, but he's not a drug addict. And he goes, well, you just don't know. And I said, so how is he shooting up in his back underneath his shoulder blade where I can't even reach my shoulder blade? This is where they thought he was injected. I said, what is he doing? Taking the needle and doing it like a dart and going like this into his back? I'm like, really, people?
And these people get through medical school?
Oh, yeah, they
That's
did.
the scary
Oh,
part.
yeah, well, let me
Mhm.
tell you. See, he would have been dead many times if I hadn't been there to save him. But let me tell you, this is the act of this narcissist that I was married to. So I save his life in the emergency room. That's when they find out that he has billions of strep bacteria running through his heart already, okay? Next week, Jim Henson dies of the same thing, going in thinking he had the flu, but he had a strep bacteria, and he waited 30 minutes too long and died. My husband was at that point. They put him in the room, but before they're doing anything, they start him on antibiotics, and they still haven't got the strep stuff, diagnosed yet. They hadn't got the cultures back. And I walk into the room, and he goes, you are not allowed in here. And I said, what the So I'm going over to him, and he goes, I told them about you. They asked me if I took anything, and I told them, you gave me that herb. You gave me golden seal. I'm like, you sorry ass motherfucking bum. They think you tried to kill me. I'm like, if I tried to kill you, motherfucker, you'd be dead, is what I told them. I'm like, oh, let me tell you something, buddy. I can fix that right now. If you want to die, I can kill you now. So this is our relationship. This is a signal, and I didn't get divorced for another 25 years, okay? So this is the relationship I had. So, yes. They came back in, found out it was strep. I had got to go home to take care of my 3 children under the age of 5. He never once told me that the doctor went and researched what golden seal was. Never once did he say this. A year later, he's talking to a friend who's sick, and he says, oh, you need to get that herb golden seal. It didn't work for me because the doctor said the strep had bloomed too much, but that it was a very good herb to take care of bacterial infections. And I came around the corner, and I'm looking at him like, you sorry ass motherfucker. You made
Give you
me
the credit?
think. No, he didn't. Not only did he not do that, but he made me think that our doctor, our family doctor, thought I tried to kill him for a year before he let me know. A year. He made me think that they thought I tried to kill him.
And then you were ready to.
Oh, yeah, I was.
What a way to put a
More
life
than
into right there.
once was I ready to kill him.
I just
Cause-
developed on a T, dear.
Cause
Yeah.
of death. Pissed off wife.
Yeah. Yep. I was pissed off as hell. He kept me in a state of being pissed off.
That's almost what's the word I'm looking for? Not sadistic. Well, yeah, it could be.
He's narcissistic, okay? Narcissistic.
Take
That's
a shot.
another word for
Take another shot.
asshole, right?
Borderline personality disorder is what he has, okay? There you go.
I'm looking over the top of my cat's head.
Yes, let me think that the medical community at the hospital thought I was trying to kill him with an herb of unknown origin. And that's actually when I still wanted him to live. Should have killed him. I had the knowledge even then to kill him. I could have done it. I could have done it.
That's funny.
Do I get brownie points for not doing it? So yes, Spider tried to help me out one time. She was unsuccessful.
Let's see how long that lasts. I put her down for a little bit. We know she's going to jump back up here soon.
So wow, we're actually informative and topicful this evening. What the hell? Are we not that off the cuff this week?
After my little rant about
your husband.
about a narcissistic ex-husband.
And just for your records, everybody, you should have 4 shots under your belt.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let me catch up.
Mm-hmm.
No fair, Reagan. You're drinking water.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I also had to turn off my camera for a minute so I could eat my sandwich because I didn't want to be up here nomming like a cow while people were talking.
Well, I am, so whatever.
No. You don't understand. It's not pretty when I eat.
Well, I'm trying to do this number. Mm-hmm. No, there's no reason why my hands are like this. No.
I just like scarfed a sandwich. I don't even think I tasted it.
See, I had cookies and stuff before we started. Now I'm snacking on cashews every once in a while.
I have
I have M&Ms, and I can tell you would y'all like to know what I have learned to do for a dark moon cakes and ale? Let me show you. I've got this covered. When you don't have time to bake something or, do something more appropriate just for everyday kind of use, I take one of these, the Swiss rolls.
Mm-hmm.
However, what I do is I take it and I slice it, and then it's pinwheels and it's dark circles with white lights swirling into it because it's the new moon coming back into the light.
Oh, what a neat idea.
That's awesome.
So there is mine. There you go. Little Debbie, I'll give you some Swiss rolls. You can send me any extra Swiss rolls you have laying around for product plugging. Yes, there you go.
That's perfect, though.
Yeah, I was. I thought I was very clever when I discovered that.
That reminds me one time of something semi-related. We had this group ritual, and our high priestess at the time went and got a bunch of apples, and you know how you cut them, this way, and it opens up, it looks like a star?
Yeah.
Well, she got them at Walmart, and they were sterile apples, and they had no seeds. There was no star.
Oh, no! You got the GMO apples. She got the hybrids.
So she goes to this whole big spiel, and she's all, and very theatrical about the whole thing. And she cuts this apple open, she holds it up, and we all just went. And then
She
I
got
called
the
Dad. I
wrong
was
damn
like,
apples. Shit. When that happens.
When things don't work out, and then you stand there and you've been animated and then it's like, damn. What do you do when you look like a fool, right?
No, it's one thing. See, that's why I'm solitary. Y'all will never know about my mistakes. I will never divulge them.
yeah. I have some things I can laugh at myself about. Other things I'm like, that just never happened.
That never happened. I'm not telling you. No, it wasn't me. I don't know.
Those will die with me. Yes.
I didn't do it. Nope.
My evil twin. That's my story.
Yes.
I'm sticking to it.
Well, what I usually do though, like if I have a group ritual, which we do, fairly frequently. I haven't had one in a couple months, but we usually, summertime, it gets kind of busy for everybody. But I'll make on full moon, I'll make a chocolate cake, but I put white frosting all over it. And so it signifies the full moon, but with every full moon, it will be going dark again to new moon. And so when you cut it, you remind yourself that the light will be waning down. But on new moon, I do a vanilla cake with a chocolate frosting, knowing that the light will return again. So it's kind of, we do symbolic things like that sometimes.
That's a cool idea. I can always go for cake.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's
Any
quick and
excuse to
easy.
eat cake.
Exactly.
Yeah, any excuse.
Now, I can also substitute for those two cakes, the Pepperidge Farms triple chocolate layer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, both ways.
Mm-hmm.
And it just signifies that the moon is there and I'm hungry. I can always do one of those. I tell you, I think they make the absolute best chocolate cakes.
Hey, I can find a way to make it feel like it belonged right in my ritual, and it's there for a reason, honey. I am good about that.
Cocoa is very magical and belongs in every ritual. If I could incorporate it into every ritual, I would.
Now, let me tell you, Oreos are great stand-ins, whether they're golden or chocolate, doesn't matter. Full moon, new moon, whatever, doesn't matter. Got them both.
Or EL fudge. He's an elf, so it goes back to the ethereal creatures.
Huh?
Graham fudges.
Oh, yes.
I said, if you use EL fudge.
I will have a tie-in to something. I don't care what it is. I'll figure it out.
I like those grasshoppers.
Oh my god. Yeah, you dig deep enough.
Well, see, now, if you have the EL fudge here, he's an ethereal creature person.
Yeah.
And you got the fudge in the middle for the new moon.
Oh, it looks good.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect ritual.
Mint Milano could work. Sure.
Well, see, I would use that Keebler elf because I'd say, this is for my brownie. This is the brownie culture. We're doing things for the brownies today.
Right.
I was telling my daughter about your brownie.
That thing was so active last night. I was like, there's somebody in my washroom. And I'm like, what the hell? And there was nothing in there. And he was just rummaging around doing whatever. And I swear, it's not, I can't even begin to describe to you what the noise is like. It's like somebody is literally, like I have a ghost or something in there.
Oh no.
So, yes, he scared the hell out of me. Last night I really thought somebody was behind me because I was working at my computer. You know, working on that video spins homework for me. Like, trying to figure out how to do things beyond my scope of knowledge on my movie maker. trying to keep up with the technology here and doing the intro part of it, and that thing just came alive. But of course, it was around midnight, and he just he gets active around somewhere around midnight.
Yeah.
I know I can't stop yawning. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's
It's been a
okay.
long day. It's been a long few days, actually.
Right. I just woke up. I'm still waking up. It's so slow.
I've got coffee back here. I'm about to put myself on hold and go get a cup.
I know. I'm sitting here thinking, what kind of caffeine do we have in the house?
Oh yeah, I loved your video, by the way, of you making coffee.
Oh,
That was epic.
I have to get caught up. I haven't seen the last couple of videos.
That was on your disrupt.
my vlog channel, yeah.
Yeah. But that was pretty cool. It was like, you were in the kitchen making coffee, walking back and forth, and it just, for some reason, I was just reminded of Lucille Ball. I don't know why.
You're Lucy now.
The kitchen straight out the 50s.
She was just kind of schlepping back and forth from, the coffee pot to the water and pouring it in. And
Grinding my coffee, yeah. I have to buy whole bean. I can't go get pre-ground coffee because that's beneath me. I got a coffee grinder one year for Christmas, and that's like my best friend. I don't know.
My coffee grinder
Is there really a
did
difference
the best.
between whether you do whole bean or not?
Huh?
Is there really a difference between whether you do coffee or not?
whether you drink coffee or not, because part of your word
Like
stuck
whether you
out.
do the whole bean coffee versus the ground coffee?
It's all about how you store it, because beans can get stale just like the pre-ground can. I just like being able to go in there and dump the beans in the thing and make the noise.
You know what never goes stale?
Huh.
M&M's.
Right?
Well, coffee doesn't get stale around me. It doesn't have it. I don't give it a chance to go.
Neither
to
do
go stale.
M&M's, because I'm sure chocolate can go stale, but not when there's a woman in the house generally.
Right.
Right. And there are some women out there that say they don't like chocolate, and my answer to that is
They're lying.
They're wrong.
They're lying.
Apparently, they're not doing it right.
Yeah, there's two kind of people in this world: people that like chocolate and people that don't. Never trust a non-chocolate eater.
Yeah, for real.
People are shady.
You don't like chocolate? Are you an alien from outer space or something? What the hell?
It sounds like a chemical imbalance.
Who doesn't like chocolate.
I'm sorry, Spin?
I can't be friends with someone who doesn't like chocolate. There's something wrong with them.
It's a chemical imbalance, I'm telling you.
I don't need that kind of negativity in my life.
No?
Yeah. If you don't like chocolate, you're wrong, you're negative, go
Well,
away.
I guess I'm amongst friends then. I'm eating my chocolate with my wine.
My latest guilty pleasure, besides the fact that I had a chocolate lava cake for my birthday and ate way more of it than I should have, is I keep a canister full of hot chocolate on hand, and it's the one with the little mini marshmallows. But those things, I mean, they're not like actual marshmallows in my mind, but I like to eat them dry.
You shared a picture of your lava cake, and it done flung a craving on me, and I had to go in there and make myself some homemade chocolate pudding so I could celebrate your birthday. So I celebrated your birthday.
I didn't look at that picture.
You didn't see it?
She saw it, she didn't look at it. She
No.
glazed over it.
I didn't look.
Oh,
I
yeah.
haven't been on Facebook. I'm missing everything.
Oh my god,
I can't keep up with everything. I've been working a lot and, having important things to do, like go buy M&M's, like on camera.
Well, you're missing a lot of really cool memes then.
I've been on this weird,
I know.
right? I've been on this weird sleep schedule, so I'm like I go to bed at like, I think I went to, what 9, 8 this morning I went to sleep. Yeah, I woke up at like at 4 o'clock, my alarm went off. So, and it's my medication, and I have to get myself settled before I can like change what time I take it. And everybody says,
You mean it's nothing to do with the fact that you and Spin talk all night on chat, and I wake up and there's 95,000 messages,
And they're
and
still talking.
I
And they're
have
still
no
talking.
way of knowing what the hell y'all have done because there's no way I can even make it to the top of the conversation.
You don't speak now.
You can mute me all you want. I will tell your secrets.
oh no. Well, when my doctor, he's like, take your Prozac when you first wake up in the morning because it's going to wake you up and you're going to be wired all day. I take it. I last about 20 minutes and I could be standing up and I'll just... So I've been taking it, I take it in the morning and I just pass out, and then at night I can't fall asleep. It has the opposite effect on me. So I have to get myself to the point where I'm taking it at bedtime, which I am at 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning. So
But it's still in the morning.
So I have to fix that, and I'm just going to wait a little bit longer because it's still hot. So I have no problem being completely passed out and oblivious to the fact that it's still 100 degrees. That's not a problem for me. I'm good with that. It can just be hot and blazing, and I can just be snoring away, and then as soon as it cools off, I'm wide awake. I should have been doing this all summer, but as it's starting to get, dark sooner and stuff, I'm going to have to shift my sleeping schedule, but it's working for me right now. It's working for me because the kids come in here and they're on their computers doing their things, and I'm not a heavy sleeper, so I'm having conversations with them in my sleep, and then I wake up and they're like, "Thanks, Mom," and I'm like, "What did I agree to?" Oh, crap. But they're content. I'm good. We're doing fine. But I'm doing all kinds of things in my sleep. I'm making meals and.
Yeah, I remember I was just getting ready to log off one very wee early hours, and you guys were still talking, and right before I was ready to log off, all of a sudden you spouted out, "I made the most delicious pancakes ever."
Oh, they were amazing. Oh my God. Oh yeah, those were good too.
And then we have those times that's all we talk about is food.
Yes.
And it's like we start talking about what each other's eating, and it's like, "Oh, I'll be right back. I gotta find something to eat." And then we're rummaging through our kitchens trying,
Stop that.
Well, I eat, sleep, and internet. I mean, this is my life right now because everything's kind of in limbo and on hold-ish, So all I do is make videos, sleep, eat, play with the kids. That's it. That's my whole existence right now. So and most of my whole life's usually kind of food-centric because I love food. Food never steers me wrong. I've ate some bad food, but it was still an experience. And that's always a common ground because everybody eats.
That's right.
This is true.
And I'm dying because tomorrow I get to go pick up the stuff to make myself some butter chicken.
Some what? Butter chicken?
Butter chicken.
So
It's an Indian dish. Oh,
that sounds good.
My goodness.
It sounds dangerous.
It's very dangerous.
I like butter.
It's very fattening and amazing. Oh my God. Yes.
Now you know you're going to have to share that recipe.
Okay, YouTube Paula Dean. Stop it.
Butter.
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 It's supposed to be a thing of the South, people. Stop that.
I am.
Oh, next time you make yourself a cup of hot cocoa,
Butter.
put just a little bit of butter. Yes, you already know.
Oh yeah. And when I'm heating up cold spaghetti, butter.
butter.
Butter and cold spaghetti is the most amazing thing you will ever eat. Oh my God. Oh yeah.
In the words of my daughter, can we say cholesterol and diabetes
I get my cholesterol checked all the time, and my cholesterol is perfect because I also eat a lot of healthy, like avocados and stuff that have the good cholesterol. My numbers are perfect. That's not my problem. That's not the reason why I'm going through the whole thing. Uh,
Meanwhile, I'm on
How old are you?
fentanyl.
huh?
I'll say, how old are you?
I
It
just turned
turns
30.
on you after certain numbers.
I
Everyone has
just
a
turned
magic age, and then boom, it's
I just
there.
turned
Yep.
38, and so
Mhm.
far all of my blood work is still beautiful. I'm still in the middle of trying to, because the anxiety causes blood pressure spikes, and that's been fun dealing with. But besides that, everything's fine. I'm really active though. I think that's the biggest thing is I'm a very active person. Even though even though I love my food, I don't just sit on my buns. And even if I try to, I can't. I'm burning 150 calories an hour rocking away in my rocking chair. You know, the other day I went to get up and my legs hurt so bad, and I'm like, what the hell is wrong with me? I can barely walk. What did I do? I put my rocking chair in here as a desk chair, and I'm sitting here watching videos on YouTube, just rocking away, and I had the worst leg cramps. Oh my God. I
From all that
thought,
rocking.
oh yeah, I can't sit still. I never could sit still. I am very very hyper. I was the hyperactive child, I mean, the labels and all, as a kid, and my grandmother never put me on medication. She said no. And I'm glad she said no, because the hyperactivity is probably what's kept me alive. Because I got some terrible eating habits. Well, I come and go with the terrible eating habits. But when I get stressed and things get bad, I'm all about comfort food. But
Yeah.
so it's balancing it out and trying to eat healthy to counteract the fact that I just ate, half a crock pot full of lava cake.
Yeah, that looked good though. I
Oh,
notice you're rocking even right now, and I noticed that I rock. But does anybody else rock their cats?
yes, yes, and I walk around
I do.
bouncing my cats like infants. Yeah, yeah.
It's
Uh,
like
you know,
Pippi will get up here, and I find myself just rocking.
I've been a mom since 16. That's what I do. Like I treat my cats like they're infants because I'm so used to having babies and not having babies and not being close enough to my grandsons to spend a lot of time with them. Yeah, my poor cats. I
Oh,
mean,
you're doing enough. Have a couple more.
no.
I tell you, I would have loved to had more, but that wasn't meant for
Four,
me. I guess right now.
four. We'll go with 4.5. Yeah, 4.5 was enough for me. I love my children. I love my children. But yeah, I'm perfectly happy to burp my cats and rock them like babies. Sometimes I'll throw him over my shoulder and pat him, and he'll actually burp.
And spinning
Yeah, I don't
them.
do that. My cat. I'll rock my cat. Sing to my cat. Stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah. Because my youngest baby is 60 pounds. I can't rock him no more. Pat him on the back, he gets pissed.
Don't dare try to put a diaper on him.
No, he'd break my arms. So yeah, the cats are my babies now.
Yep.
I think that's how that transition happens for us old crazy old cat ladies is
Yeah, exactly.
you got to fill that void for the empty nest syndrome as they start moving away. You're like, oh, I need a baby.
You're speaking to the wrong old crone. No. Thank you. No, 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 no. No. I'll rock my grandbabies. I don't do soft and fluffy. Brandy said someone someone asked her. He hugged her and she thought he wanted to be a boyfriend or whatever. And he goes, "Oh no, I was just hugging you or something. I forget what he said." And she goes, "That's not when you hug somebody. You hug somebody when you." He doesn't have healthy boundaries. Let's put it that way, okay? He kind of overstepped a boundary. And he goes, "Well, don't you get hugs from Toy?" She goes, "That bitch would cut me. What are you talking about?" She doesn't hug. She's not. No, I don't do soft and fluffy. No, no soft and fluffy here. No. I'm like,
Oh, well, see, I grew up as an only child, and I spent a lot of time alone. And I am perfectly content to be alone, and I've spent, you know, uh, intermittent times alone, and then my kids used to leave on the weekends and go with dad and stuff, so I'd have from Friday to Monday to just, do whatever the hell I pleased. And I took advantage of that time and got a lot of stuff done. I would take like weekend classes and stuff and work on the weekends and do it, whatever. But I just, I don't, it's not out of loneliness, you know what I mean? It's just, yeah, I'm one of those snuggly ass, cuddly, overbearing people.
I like to snuggle when I have a significant other. Don't get me wrong. I love to snuggle with my grandchildren, but
uh, cat.
the empath has flipped around the other way and had to build walls to protect herself.
Mhm.
And so therefore she keeps everybody at arm's distance because I feel like they're going to put a noose around my neck and capture me again and put me in prison. And I can't. I look at them like, no.
Well, what's funny is when it comes to relationships, I have this terrible fear of commitment, and
Yeah.
I'm always flighty. When it comes to my kids or my pets, I have no problem keeping them close. But when it comes to people, I don't do people well. I really don't do people well.
I used to love animals. Don't get me wrong. And when I say used to love animals, I still love animals. My problem is that my husband, I had 3 babies under 3 years of old. So he brings me a German Shepherd that became a very big chore because the people gave him to him because he could not be controlled.
Oh, nice.
So he gives me another burden to control. Then he brings me home every stray dog because he's an animal lover. But he goes to work and works a 100-hour week. I have 3 babies, and now I have a bunny rabbit, 2 ducks, 5 dogs, 2 cats. 1 cat belongs to the dog because he rescued the kitten and it became Junior's cat. So, and I had to feed them all, take care of them all, and I still loved animals. But when we finally moved to the country, and now we're, say, I guess it was 27 years into the marriage, I have a fractured shoulder that I thought I had dislocated, so it's, and he allowed 2 dogs to come in. It was a male and a female. And he built a fence, and they immediately bred and became 12 dogs.
A whole pack, huh?
I said that he needed to get rid of the puppies. He goes, but they're just so cute. I love them all. And he kept them until they weren't cute and adorable, and we couldn't get rid of them. So now I had 12 dogs, plus the Rottweiler in the house. Then he let destroy every bit of furniture and every bit of good things that I ever had. He let her destroy. Sweet animal, don't get me wrong, sweet. But I was having, because we lived in the country and he worked right around there, I had to bring home the dog food. Every 2 days, 50 pounds of dog food on a shattered shoulder. It became completely unbearable. Not to mention, he stopped working. I was paying for his cigarettes, his dog food, his this, his that, and he couldn't understand. Then the dogs started taking off in a pack, and we started getting reports by the hunters. Yes, I had this line. I was going to shoot this deer, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, came this dog and jumped the deer, and then all these other dogs came. And I swear, the pack leader ripped the heart out of the deer and ran off with it. That was our pack animal. Because you cannot have that many dogs without them going back to the instincts of what they were. So then they proceeded to kill all of the he had this one guy, big huge ranch that we lived off of. the prized sheep, that he had two big Australian sheepdogs that came in to protect the sheep. No, my dogs were killing these prize-winning sheep
Oh,
and dragging them. They couldn't find them. They kept coming up missing until they cleaned the fence line. And that's where they were dragging them through the fence, but couldn't. They get stuck in the fence, and that's where they found all the dead sheep.
see, I
This
spent
is
about 12.
how an animal lover became a cat lover.
I spent about 12 years without even so much as a house cat, goldfish, nothing, because I grew up in the house with my grandmother, who was a hoarder, and she not only hoarded, she not only hoarded possessions, she hoarded animals. And there was
Mm-hmm.
a point where we had 150 cats, we had like 25 dogs, we had all kinds of exotic pets as well. And she had a bad back surgery, so she was bedridden. So guess who was taking care of those animals while trying to
Exactly.
go to school and trying to do everything else? So when I got out on my own, I said I never want another animal again.
That's where
And
I'm starting to want
mhm,
animals again, but it's been a long
yeah,
time.
well, and I spent all those years without any, and then what was it, 4 years ago? My friend came in. It was the first week of November. She walked in the house and she had a pregnant cat, and she said
Yeah,
the
they
vet said it's
always
gonna be
come to
two.
you
Yeah,
pregnant.
she
And they
said
swear it's never been in heat before in its life.
it
It's never
was
been in heat.
it was so funny because she had rescued her at the apartment complex that she was living in. One of her neighbors moved out and abandoned the cat. And she took her to the vet, and they said she was about 2 weeks away from having her kittens. And I reached in to pet that damn cat, and the cat let out this horrible noise, seized up, and pooped out a kitten. So I said,
Oh,
I'll take your firstborn, I'll take your firstborn son. And she had 3 boys, and I took two of them. And Ra and Mal are like, they're just like my other children to me. And I was done, and I've always been a dog person, but I was done. I said I never wanted any more pets. I never wanted to go through that ever again because of all the night.
They put
I
a
could tell you some
spider up
stories.
as
Oh,
her.
cute. But once I got them, and because I told her I would take two of them, and we waited. As soon as they were weaned, she brought them over, and playing with them and stuff, and handling them from the time they were kittens to where they're exactly like I want them to be. And you know, I don't do kittens. I don't like young animals, so it was really hard for me at first. I was like, this is just, they piss everywhere. you know? But once I got them fixed, got them microchipped, did all the things, and taught them how to use a litter box, and they were doing all the things that they're supposed to. I love those two cats. I mean, they're everything. And I've done like random rescues and stuff, and helped. I have Tycho at my mom's house right now, and he's like a 20-pound cat. He's huge, big old orange cat.
Uh-huh.
But he was a rescue. His owners put him outside in the heat, and he's nothing but fur. And my mom and I share him back and forth. And then I have Batman, of course.
I
My
I think that I still suffer from a bit of post-traumatic stress syndrome from my husband, and
it took
that's why I'm
therapy.
just not ready to
Yeah,
have any kind of commitment that I have to take care of. I had so much to take care of, and I became sick, and
yeah,
um, I'm getting over it, and I'm
yeah,
starting to. I see I'm turning the page now, but I really think it's a form of post-traumatic stress that I
well,
still suffer because I see things and I see they need me to do something. But I am also the first to go rescue an animal that's in pain. The first to go untie the neighbor's
hmm
dog when they make me so mad they keep that dog on a chain.
um,
It is the sweetest dog in the world, and I just want to take him off that chain.
yeah,
I do all of this kind of stuff. I'm the first one to go after someone hurting a child or all this stuff. I just don't want to be the one responsible for them. That's
yeah.
I
Well,
just
and that
can't
was
handle
yeah.
that.
That was me for a long time. I actually went through years of therapy to get to the point. And when, I mean, that was like I wasn't sure I was ready when the kittens came along, and I was terrified of, and I even the lady I got them from, I was like, so if this doesn't work out, you can take them back and they'll have a good home, right? Because I was terrified that it wasn't going to work out and I
Right.
wasn't going to be able to handle it. Because, yeah, I mean, all those thoughts and because I would get up in the morning. I have to get up like 3 hours early because I would have to. The entire bathtub would be full of cat shit in the morning,
Yes.
and I would have to clean it and everything. I mean, and my clothes, I would have to, go to great lengths to keep everything put up because they would pull them off the hangers and piss on them in the clothes. I mean,
Yes.
having that many animals and then the food and the everything. Oh yeah, I just
It's work. It's way too
overwhelming.
much work.
And I grew up in that, I mean, that was my
Yeah.
childhood. So it was mind-boggling to try to, wrap my head around that and get past it, and now it's like, yeah, I'm real leery and I'm terrified. I'm like, no, I can't help you. I always have people asking me, oh, I've got this cat, and my mom is the worst. And I would think she would understand because she grew up in the same environment, was raised by the
Right.
same person I was. So you would think
Right.
she would understand. But her thing is she doesn't want the responsibility, but she has the bleeding heart, so she brings them to me and expects me to take it on. Well, you've got kids. What's another mouth to feed and butt to clean up
Yeah,
after? And
that's
it's like,
just it. That's what's
no.
up with that. There is another mouth to feed.
Yeah, and
I've got priorities. They're
and
my
it's like,
flesh and blood. They're
yeah,
my
it's like that's the difference between my sanity and me
yeah.
running up and down the street naked screaming.
Exactly. Now
For
that's
Vera.
me. But the universe has strange ways. So when I buy this house, what comes with it? A cat that's skittish. She tolerates me and I tolerate her. All she wants is some food, feed me, and she leaves me alone.
Yeah.
So she's made me want to be cuddling with a cat again and stuff. She won't cuddle. So
Like cuddling with a blender.
it's like, okay, we're good because we're good. We understand each other.
That's my Batman. I mean, Ra's a very needy cat, and he follows me around and talks to me all day, and that's great. And Mal is totally Scott's cat. I mean, he's been his cat since he first came home. But uh, Batman, he is his own being, and when you pick him up, he makes this sound like you're squeezing his guts out. He does not want to be touched or bothered. If he
Yeah.
decides he wants to be petted, he'll come to you, and he'll sit there and let you pet him for a minute, and then all of a sudden you see the realization wash over his face. Oh my God, I'm getting domesticated. I gotta go.
Exactly. That's what my little diva does. She's starting to where, okay, I can get her in my lap and I can pet her, and then all of a sudden she realized, oh my God, I'm letting her have a relationship with me. No, it must never be. She's
They shoot off somewhere and they're cleaning themselves, looking back at you like,
It's just
what
like,
did
oh my
you?
God, she has a fear of commitment just like I have a fear of commitment, so we understand each other. It's
Yeah.
mutual, we're good. We're good. And the only reason I can get her in my lap at all is I won't feed her until she gets up there.
Yeah.
And then I feed her. She knows if she gets up in my lap and stays there for at least 10 minutes, she'll get wet food versus dry food.
Briber.
I know how to get things that I want out of things.
Right. It's so funny because Scott was gone for like 2 years, and because we got Raw and Mel and their kittens, and he was there for the first 2 years, and he was gone for 2 years, and when he came back, his cat, oh my God, I've never seen a cat so excited to see his. Oh my God, he loves Scott to death. Those cats, and it's funny because I mean, for 2 years they were, I moved and stuff and whatever, but they were kind of not real, not really themselves, just kind of mopey and kind of doing the cat thing, but not really. And Ra wouldn't talk to me, and they quit sleeping on the bed and stuff like that. And I was like, what the hell is your problem? And now that he's back, are you kidding me? They're like,
They
yay,
let
he's
me in.
home. They do. And it's so funny because my cat just, oh my God. And yeah, it's when it's bedtime, I've got Ross standing on the end of the bed meowing at me going, okay, come on, get sleep. And he sleeps at the head of the bed, and Mouse sleeps at the foot of the bed, and yeah, they're right back to their old routine, like nothing ever changed. It's so
Oh, the
funny.
cutest thing I saw is when Spin did that quick video and sent it to us of Aries on her back, and she was afraid to move. That was cute.
That was adorable.
Has she done it again since, Spin?
Wasn't that this morning? Why is
Yeah,
she
well,
not
she does it a
talking?
lot. No, it was yesterday. I
Okay.
was just sleeping. That's how she used to sleep with me when we were in Sacramento and we didn't have but a blanket between us. So she would sleep on me so we could keep each other warm. And she hadn't done that in a while, but she used to do that all the time.
Cute.
And she's a cute
And I
cat.
told her, I said,
And
it's
she wants
because
to
you're
be.
made of warm. She is adorable.
They're
Well,
all cute.
that's the
And they
biggest
want
thing
to
for
be.
me is cat food and litter is cheaper than heating costs.
You
got a
live in
point.
Las Vegas. I don't think you need a whole lot of heating costs.
It gets a little nippy here. It'll get down in the like high 20s, low 30s at night. So we just pile the cats on the bed. We're good. Get the big comforter out and throw them under it, and we all just snuggle up and sleep. It's fine. It's like having hot water
pretty
bottles
much.
with fur.
Yep.
And they purr, so it's like,
There's a friggin' fly in here. This is bugging the crap.
Uh-oh.
So,
I heard did somebody have a rooster close by just crow?
I have, we live in a whole neighborhood full of roosters, and
That's Reagan.
yeah, all day and all night. All day and all night.
why?
Because I live in a highly Hispanic neighborhood, and
So these are fighting cocks?
no, a lot of them have them for eggs and to actually eat. They're not fighters. They're food.
Roosters?
Well, you have to have a rooster in order for the chickens to lay. The people across the street have them. The people.
I've had many chickens and have to have a rooster for them to lay.
They create a lot more eggs. They really do. But the people here, I haven't noticed anybody that seems like they're fighting them.
I was gonna say,
just a little
I used to. My husband decided that he was going to get my girls another. Okay, this is another thing. Okay, we got 10 chicks, and 3 ducklings for Easter for my girls for Easter because why not put some more animals on toy to take care of? Okay, but I did have fun with those chickens and ducks because 7 out of the 10 chickens were roosters.
Oh my God!
Okay, yes. That was real fun. Okay, that was real fun.
Especially if you're trying to get eggs out of them.
Well, when he decided to do this, he also decided to get me 4 laying hens. Actually, laying hens. These weren't the chicks. He went to the rooster man, the chicken man, and he got me 4 chickens.
Yeah.
One I called Little Bitch. Little Bitch was Little Bitch because she was a bitch. You'd go out. There was a time when my dryer broke and we would have to hang up stuff on the line in the backyard because we lived in the country. And you'd go out there, and my kids would be going out there trying to hang up clothes. And Little Bitch thought she was a fighting rooster and would spar us. She would be, try to attack us every time we went out there. She was very territorial. And so these 7 roosters started going after each other, trying to kill each other, okay? Because it doesn't take very long for these roosters to start trying to kill each other.
Yep.
So at this point, all I know about chickens is that I go to the Naylor's feed store and I get Layina because I wanted the eggs because I was getting good eggs, and I was baking up a storm, and I had 3 girls, and all this stuff, and the duck eggs were delicious. I'm telling you, the duck eggs, the best cakes, pies, anything you can have is with a duck egg. Oh my God, they're wonderful.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Duck eggs are amazing.
They are friggin' amazing when you're baking with them. But these 10 chickens, I got up one morning and I thought, what's so wrong with the chickens? Because they sounded like they all had laryngitis. And I was like, the roosters were trying to cock-a-doodle-doo, and they would have cock-a-doodle. They couldn't. And I was like, what the hell's wrong with the roosters?
Oh no.
So I have to go buy another bag of Layina at the feed store. And I'm going up there, and I'm going to buy the Layina. And I casually mentioned to the cashier, I go, you know what it's like? I got up this morning, and all my chickens sound like they got laryngitis. And all of a sudden, everybody in that feed store went ballistic, went running around. Oh my God, you need this, that, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. And they're throwing these antibiotics at me for their water. They said, laryngitis kills chickens. I was like, what? So I found out that laryngitis kills chickens. My husband was a smoker, and if he would throw a cigarette butt out in the backyard where all the chickens were, they would run around with chicken. The chickens would have the cigarette butt hanging out of their mouth, smoking still. Looked like smoking chickens. And then they would play keep away with the cigarette butt. They would steal each other's the cigarette butt back and forth. It looked like a soccer team playing soccer, only with keep away with a live cigarette butt.
Oh my God.
So I also learned by the time we had to kill the 7 roosters, because you do have to kill them or they kill themselves, and it's not pretty. So he killed all but 1. And then that rooster still tried to kill my ducks, and so we ended up having to shoot this rooster because he was trying to kill all the animals in the backyard. Because that was another thing. I couldn't do anything I had to go outside to do my laundry and stuff, and this rooster would try to attack you everywhere you went. If it wasn't the rooster, it was little bitch. She was trying to kill you. This is now past winter, and we've gone into spring again, and I'm still throwing Layina out there, not realizing what I'm doing. Because that was when I didn't know what I was doing. Doves would be flying overhead, and they would be eating the Layina too. And it didn't matter what season it was, they would be flying overhead, and all of a sudden these eggs would just drop out of their butt. Then you would go out into our yard, and the birds would start to fly. These eggs would just be flying out of these doves and stuff because they were eating my Layina, and they were making and producing eggs like you wouldn't believe.
Oh my God.
I don't recommend Layina. It was hormonally laced for birds.
Yeah.
So they don't really need a rooster to lay a lot of eggs. Just let me know. Doves can also lay eggs even through winter if you've got Layina out on the ground.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
So I was having to run from eggs coming from the mourning dove. I was having to get dive bombed by a rooster that had his spurs out trying to kill me.
We had a big old goose named Relinda. And that damn thing, my grandmother decided when we used to live over off like Sahara and Lamb over on the east side, she decided that she wanted to get all this waterfowl and put a pond in the backyard and do all this shit. We had ducks and we had, and when she lived in Woodhigh, that was okay. We're talking about in Vegas, okay? It's a whole different experience. So she gets all this shit, and this goose, okay, was almost as tall as I was. The thing was huge, and I was little. I was like 5, 6 years old. And that damn goose used to chase me. I couldn't go out in the backyard. Anyway, go out in the backyard and play. Go out in the backyard. I don't want to go out in the backyard and play. I'm gonna die. You know. And I would go around by where the ducks were laying, and this goose would flip out on me. And the one time she got a hold of me through blue jeans, broke skin, and
Yeah.
attached herself to my ass and would not let go. It took everybody in the house to get that damn goose off of me. And then we took her out. We called Bonnie Springs, and we took her out there. And you know, because they've got like a petting zoo, and they got a bunch of animals and stuff out there. So we took her out there, and when we dropped her off, she tried to follow us back to the car. She tried to get on a tour bus. It was the most horrifyingly sad experience of my life, because even though this goose had tried to remove one of my butt cheeks, I still missed her. And I felt bad because she was trying to come back home. It was so sad. But yeah, people, and around here, yeah, we've got so many roosters. I'd say every other house, and it's so funny because, you know, people are like, Vegas, really? Yeah, well, they're zoning and stuff for stuff like that. You can have all kinds of I mean, there's people not too far from me that have horses, you know.
Well, yeah, I could have. I'm in the middle of the city. I could have, you know, ducks and chickens and whatever out there. I don't have my yard completely fenced, so I would never do that. And I would never do it because I don't want to take care of them. I'm gone all the time. Now, if if I get a partner that could share the load, it might be different. But for me to do it, I can't do it. I can't take care of them properly. But ducks are so fun to have. I would have ducks is what I would have.
They're so cute. What a lot of people don't realize, though, is with the chickens, having them in town like this, there's so much artificial light that their internal clocks are so skewed that they crow 24 hours a day.
Yeah, no, that would not go with me.
Yeah, when I used to live, you know, when I lived out in the middle of nowhere in Arizona, you know, it was dark at night, so they would just shut up. But if somebody drove down the road and the headlights hit the hen house, they all start in. Even the females would be out there trying to crow, you know. But because of the light, and that's what people don't understand is, and they don't keep them dark here. They should be covering up their. They
should be putting them in the.
Yeah, but these
roost, and it should be dark. Yes, it should be.
Yeah, these poor animals just all day and all night. There's 24 hours a day you can hear a rooster crow.
Well, you would think that, you know, they could share a rooster as well. They wouldn't all need to have a rooster.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Neighbors don't share anymore.
These people don't even speak to each other.
Well, that rooster, you can't contain him in your backyard.
They do.
I'm sorry, you can't. They are.
That drives me crazy. I don't know how they cage them, but they cage them.
Oh.
And it drives me nuts. But it's. I don't think it's the proper environment for those animals at all. Personally speaking, I think you need acreage in order to have, you know, any kind of birds. It's not fair, or at least a decent sized, you know, area where they can free range a little. You know, I mean, these two people don't even hardly have yards, and they've got them in coops.
When I had the first set of ducks, we just had a yard, a regular yard, but I also had, but there was plenty of room for the ducks.
Yeah.
But when I had the chickens and the ducks, we lived on a half an acre. However, I lived off a wildlife refuge owned by the city that was 60, 70 acres. So yes, ours was a half acre, but it was really 60 acres were all around me. It was in the middle of the country, and there wasn't a lot of, you know, artificial light or anything like that. So
that was me. I was on. Well, we were on like 2 acres, but even still, we lived on the edge of a wetland as well. So
yeah, this was a wildlife refuge. Yeah, it's a wetland back there, and once you get to the tree thing, it was a wetland back there too. Yeah.
Yeah, so there was plenty of room, and then I just had to make sure everything was in at night because the coyotes would come up and just clear us out.
Oh yeah, the coyotes were always at our fences because yes, they would have loved to have a chicken dinner.
Yeah.
They would have definitely loved to have some chicken.
My neighbor had 7 chicks, 4 ducks, and a couple roosters. After the coyotes came, she had no chickens, 1 duck, and a rooster.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
That
coyotes
was a
will.
sad day for her.
And they'll call dogs out. They'll send a female in to call dogs out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're pretty brutal. I dealt with them quite a bit because we were along the riverbed, so they're real concentrated there. And man, they would just wipe out. We had it pretty easy because we had decent fencing, and we would get everything secured at night and stuff before they came up, like right before dusk. Go out there and get everybody batten down the hatches for the night. But so many people across from me had a pit bull that they tied out in the front yard, and it used to piss me off because they had the dog staked to a chain out in the front yard, and the coyotes came and got in the yard and killed the dog on the chain. And I was just pissed. I'm like, why would you do that to that poor animal? Leave him out there defenseless like that,
Because people are idiots.
Yeah.
Well, it was a pit
This
bull.
is the
And
kind of thing that, I may not want a bunch of animals because I have my own issues, but that kind of shit pisses me off. If you can't take care of an animal and love that animal, you shouldn't own the damn animal. You really shouldn't.
Exactly.
Pisses me off to no end if you're not going to do what's right by that animal. It's just like seeing them abuse a child. So I do have a heart when it comes to animals. I just don't want to take care of it myself. I love everybody else's animals. I just get my fix, just like going on, I'll borrow your baby for a minute. Okay, I'm done. Here you go. I gotta go this way. I'll be the first one to defend them, but I don't know. I don't want to. No, don't want to take care of you. So, Blue, tell us about your dehydrator and your magic.
Oh,
Go
wow, it's
ahead.
been going like crazy. Today I got some, let's see, sage, basil, mint, and celery I had going in my house milk. Oh, I loved it. It just smelled so good. Very nice, calming, but yet energizing aroma coming from the dehydrator.
Awesome.
I love the smell. New blend. Definitely a new blend.
So what are you going to do with that blend? I know it must have brought up something in your brain.
It did. It brought up energy, and energy in the sense of it made me feel a little bit more energized, like caffeine, that kind.
Yeah.
It was also calming, of course, with the sage cleansing. So it did feel clean and everything. So probably I'll use that blend and wet incense or even burn it or whatever. Powder it, put it in a jar, and use it whenever I feel the need to. I'll have to come up with a name for it.
You two came up with y'all's 2 different versions of moon eclipse water. So tell us about it, Blue. You start.
I just put 7 drops of my own blood in water and charged it in the moonlight that was behind the clouds. It's still there, though. It's still there.
It's still there. It still has the power.
And my intent for this water is to use in spell work concerning family, because to me it felt like anything to do with blood is family, my blood.
Yes.
And there are certain issues in particular that I'm thinking about. And so I felt like I was meant to make blood moon water, and it's just very simple. And I can use that as a base for wet incense, or I can use it in my chalice, or for a drop or 2 in my cleansing ritual water to draw family close, to maybe do healing, a combination of different things. And of course, if I use it as a wet, as a base for wet incense, then I can add the herbs that I feel led to use at that time. So it's just a simple blood water, basically. But because it was done on the blood moon, super moon actually, it's blood moon water.
Ben, what did you do with yours?
Well, mine was more in the sense of change, transformation, and needing courage to make changes and transformation. So, hold on, I'm gonna cough here. Excuse me. So when I did mine, I had the idea of whatever I used it for being like a quick change, a quick turnaround, a quick reversal, but at the same time giving me the strength and courage needed to make whatever transformation or change that is needed. So whether it is, and then also movement to make things move. The water is the movement. So whatever is needing to go forth, then that's what I'm going to use this particular water, whether in chalice or just in general, in the cauldron or in my bigger cauldron. I think it's going to be really good for spell work in regards to maybe changes in like my home when I want to move, or job or career or what have you. And I think it's also to have the willpower to make the changes and not, be afraid of what will come after making the changes.
Exactly. So Reagan, did you do something for the eclipse too?
And
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I also had jasper in there. It was my blood moon recipe was basically cinnamon, chili powder, water, and jasper. And the jasper was just for the balance, to keep everything balanced, and because when you make a transition, it can be like a really upheaval type of energy, like a topsy-turvy energy. I have the jasper in there for balance and calm.
Awesome.
That's all.
I really didn't do anything special for the blood moon. We we went out to watch the eclipse and got to see some beautiful clouds. So we were denied, but yeah, just a little small ritual and stuff, and then like I said, we didn't get to. But it was amazing the next morning though, because I had to go to DMV to renew my license. Such a pain. But we were up at before sunrise, headed out because we went to the easy DMV. And the moon was just, oh my god. And it was funny because I was like, well, I'll go back home and I'll grab my camera. And then I was like, nah, I don't feel like turning around, because we were already like 5 miles from the house at that point. But it was over Devil Mountain, and here's this big, beautiful moon over Devil Mountain. And as I'm thinking about turning around to get my camera, it's slowly slipping back behind the clouds again. I'm like, are you serious?
Aww.
But I did get some stuff charged up and do some meditating and stuff on the moon. So like I said, nothing too spectacular. That's basically, I mean, since I've been living here, like at my house it was different because I had, all my altars set up all over the house, and I had my backyard that I could go out in and do a lot of workings and stuff. But I don't have the space and that, so I don't get to use as many like tools, but the magic is still the same. It's not as there's not as much showmanship as goes into it as used to be, but the intent is still there. So yeah.
Well, I got my new water charged and stuff like that, so I have my eclipse water, and I performed a few spells and got that working. Earlier in the day, I performed a spell that I did a video on, and I did that for my grandson. And so it was a productive day. I did like 4 complete spells that day, so it was a lot of work. But got to watch the eclipse and stuff happen, and I did have a beautiful view of it from my front porch, so that was nice. And so I just stood out there and watched it, and then came in and finished performing a couple of spells that I had started up on it, and it was a very powerful new beginning kind of moon, so it was awesome. So I just took advantage of it the best I could.
Yep. I did manage to go out just as the eclipse was at its full point, and get a little peep of the moon. It peeked out from behind the clouds for no more than like 3 minutes, and then it was gone again. But it was worth it, and I at least got to catch that. So, but you know, it was definitely, the energy was there, clouds or not. So.
Oh yeah, the energy's there whether you see it or not. Doesn't matter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, this is not going to happen again until 2033, correct?
Well, we'll still have some blood moons, but the total eclipse with it won't happen until 2033, 18 more years. You know, the exact same.
lunar event, yeah.
And we'll probably have clouds in this part, you know, then too. And I'll be out there even in my little get-around scooter.
Technically, you have eclipses ever so many. We're going to have them again, the eclipses and stuff. You have eclipse seasons, and they happen every year. So that, you know, whether or not they're visible, where we are, and all that kind of stuff, that's where it starts becoming, whether or not it's going to be a longer period of time and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, in my personal opinion, whether it's a full moon, a super moon, a dark moon, a quarter moon, whatever kind of moon, the moon has energy. And, you know, the super moon is spectacular to see, but I just kind of believe, you know, some moons, yeah, you might feel more energy if it feels like it's closer to you, but there is a lot of energy and a lot of mysticism surrounding the moon for me, period.
Well,
I'm just really drawn to it.
The thing is that this particular full moon was in Aries, and it's butted up next to Uranus in Aries, which means that there's a lot of extra energy in Aries. But the energy that we feel is not just the moon energy.
Right.
And then it doesn't matter whether it's a super moon, a blood moon, and all of that kind of stuff. Whenever you have a total eclipse of a full moon, it's going to be a blood moon. It's going to make it turn red.
Right.
But the other part about it is that every time there is an eclipse on a moon, or it becomes that much more powerful because of the eclipse. And so it is the eclipse that makes it super powerful, more so than a normal full moon. So every time you have an eclipse, it is a great time of change. It's a great time of pushing forward something for the next 6 months. Whatever you start has the momentum for at least 6 months. And if you know how to feed the energy, that can last for a year. So a regular full moon you can push to 6 months time, but an eclipse moon you can push well beyond 6 months. And so if you wanted to start something new, like say you were starting out a business adventure, or you were starting a, you know, whatever it was, you've just given yourself that much more of a momentum and a push for your work to be that much more powerful for you. So we should always take advantage of these powerful tides to do something. Even if it's just a personal, like say, you know, not every time do you have something ambitious to do, but we should be working on something for ourselves personally, or for something, you know, we should take advantage of the power tides, basically, because you only get this ever so often. You don't get it all the time. It's not all year long available to you. you. But there's an energy that you can use in any given time. There's something going on that's powerful. Right now, with the Virgo stuff pouring into the Pisces stuff, back and forth right now, with Jupiter and Neptune in play, that's some pretty powerful energy out there for people, for your spiritual life and grounding it into reality. So that in and of itself is a energy of making dreams come true and manifestation, and that's going to be happening for a little while.
And with Mercury still in retrograde, I was really surprised. During the full moon, I was able to watch it on YouTube. There wasn't any problems. I love watching the moon. I don't care what the moon's doing. Some people are more towards the sun. Some people I like the moon no matter what it does. I just feel I'm drawn to it, you know. So I was tickled, even though it was cloudy and I couldn't see it. I knew it was still there. It's the same moon that's been there for centuries and eons, and the way the planets align, the way the Earth aligns with it, and the sun and everything like that. You know, it's like you can actually look at it. Unlike the sun, you cannot look directly at the sun during a solar eclipse. I'm sorry. You know.
Well, you can.
With stuff.
You might not be looking at anything else for the rest of your life if it burns your corneas out. But
exactly.
I have welding goggles, and I double up the lenses for the welding goggles so that I can put them on and watch the sun when it, for like eclipses and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I think the thing about the moon is, there's that calm.
Yeah.
With it, and the fact that we're all sharing it. We're all looking at the same thing, regardless of anything, religion, age, sex, favorite football team. It doesn't matter.
Right.
We all look at the same moon, and that's something that we share globally, regardless of anything else.
Yeah.
And I have just as much respect for both. I mean, I'm a Libra. I'm all about the balance. So
Yes,
I have a sun and a moon as far as my tattoos go, is having the both sides represented.
Oh, the sun has a special place for me too, but the moon, I feel more drawn to it. I think I'm more of a night person anyway, by nature.
During
the moon is your emotion, whereas the sun is your personality. So that's why, because emotion's always going to move you more than your own personality.
Yeah, and for me, because of the fact that we reverse hibernate here during the hot months, is my go-to during the summer and during the hot times, and then the sun is what's important to me during the winter. Because there's nothing because in the desert, the extreme temperature difference between nighttime and day, it's amazing. So as soon as you see the sun come up, it's like, yes, I'm gonna thaw out. This is amazing. So, yeah, I have a very.
Well, I just think the moon is a really magical being.
Mm-hmm.
I just think the moon is a very magical being. That it pulls the tide, and the way that it messes with our emotions when there's full moons. The way that it you wouldn't think that something so far away could really greatly impact us like that, but it does.
It has
well, you also have to consider we're 70+% water. So if it's moving the tides, it's moving all the water in us. A lot easier to move it in us than it is to even move the tides, because that's a lot of water that it's moving. If it has that power, it has the power to move the water in our own selves too.
Yeah.
So that's where all of our emotion and vibration is. So yeah.
And then, of course, if you get water in your ears, boy. In the inner ear, oh my gosh, I had a problem with that once, and the dizziness, oh my goodness, vertigo was bad.
Yeah, I used to get swimmer's ear all the time because I used to swim.
That's what it's called.
So how are y'all faring through Mercury retrograde? I'm actually having a very great Mercury retrograde in every aspect except technology.
That's where I'm at too. Yeah.
I'm not having as much of a problem with technology as you guys seem to have. I mean, every once in a while I have to restart my little chat program, but it's still a beta thing.
You're restarting that chat thing every time I turn around.
Yeah, the one I had to download on my computer, it's in the beta stage, and all I have to do is restart it maybe once or twice, and it'll, go back to what it's supposed to do.
Well,
Um,
technology is the only thing that's messed up. But you know what? If technology is the only thing that gets messed up on me on a Mercury retrograde, I'm good with that.
Mhm.
I'm real good with that. Okay.
oh, I've had other things happen, but
My Mercury retrograde stuff has all been positive, every bit of it, and it's just like this is the first time I can remember in a long, long time that was the case. Okay,
Yeah,
I
because
am
last
not
retrograde
telling
was
you.
terrible.
Yeah, I'm not telling you that I get away with Mercury retrogrades and everything's all hunky dory. No, this is the only time I can recall that a Mercury retrograde has been in a positive vein to me. Everything that was revisited was in a positive light, and um, anything that I thought was fixing to be a negative turned back around to um, be a positive as well, and it was just like, wow.
so we've got 10 more days of this, though.
Yeah, but
I'm 24
it's just
days
revisiting what I've already gone through. That's all that the last, bit of it is about revisiting what you've already gone through twice before during the retrograde.
I
So
spent
mine
most of
was
this.
all positive.
Yeah,
Huh?
mine was a lot of me putting my foot in my mouth.
Yeah.
but at the same point for valid reasons, so it's not like, I mean, short of the meat sweats, that was really damn embarrassing.
Well, there she goes. So she had to bring it up.
But let me tell you, I got a good laugh off of that. I got a really good, I've never been so embarrassed in my life, but I got a good laugh off of that. It was the humility there was great. But and the kids enjoyed that, by the way.
Oh
But
boy.
but there's been a lot of clarity, a lot of things come to light for me, and that's been good. Technology has been hating me something fierce. Everything I touch, I'm like, I just don't even wanna. But at the same time, the challenges have given me something to focus on besides some of the other crap that I really can't do anything about right now in my life. So, you know,
Well, I've noticed I've been getting tongue-tied a lot.
yeah. Well,
A
that's
way
because you were
lot.
making fun of my dentures.
That's called karma. Karma's a whole nother energy.
That was too
That's
funny.
a whole nother thing. That's a whole nother thing.
You're a brat, you know that? You're a brat.
Luckily, my technology issues have been minor. It's just my phone because I need to buy another one, and I've just been, putting it off because I got to make sure everything's pulled off the phone before I go down there and get it. And I don't want to pay the extra money because I'm going to New Orleans and I want my extra money to go to that. And just
Yeah.
mine is it's been very minor. Oh, the other day my internet kept going in and out doing funky things. But you know what? If that is the worst that it is, I'm real good with that.
Yeah, what about last week? You guys left me all alone in the Witchy chat.
Oh,
I
On my
couldn't.
button.
My internet wouldn't support me getting back on. I don't know what the
Everybody
hell
just
happened.
disappeared
Yeah,
on me.
last
And
week,
I was sitting there at one point going,
technology was terrible.
I
I
don't know
just
what
I
to
just
do.
kept losing y'all, and then but yet we could stream Netflix on my TVs. We could play video games. Our telephones were working. Everything was working except my internet on my computer.
Yep, that's
And we were
frustrating.
not doing.
That I spent 14 hours trying to upload one damn video, and all I have to say is if that's the worst that Mercury retrograde is for me, is that's fine. It just sucked,
Exactly.
but that
I'm
was
good.
yeah.
I'm
better
real
that than
good. I'm real good with whatever that crap was. If that's how it hit me, okay, I'll take that. Because it seems like the witchy wars have started back up again because it's every Mercury retrograde. They're out there, the drama stuff. I don't know. It's Mercury and the drama on the Facebook and YouTube stuff is just like
Yeah,
really.
and it's not even just delegated to just one group. It's not an
Oh,
isolated
it's
thing.
everybody. It's oh hell no, it's not just
Everybody,
oh
everybody. I'm watching
yeah.
people that have been best friends for years rip each other apart on Facebook, and I'm like, what are you
Yeah. I was gonna say it has nothing to do
doing?
with our the witchy community or anything like that because the people that I'm friends with is not. It's not been happening to. It's just in general crap comes around every 2 friggin' months after retro because it takes. We'll have 2 month cycle before retrograde comes again, and there it'll be there again. Always is.
Yeah.
Like clockwork. You can. I don't even have to look up the dates anymore. I can just look up for when the drama starts.
Yep, I just watch people and it's so funny because it's absolutely everywhere,
Yeah.
everywhere.
And I'm telling you,
Reddit,
it's not even, and I
Twitter.
shouldn't even say YouTube and Facebook because it's also in real life. It's all around you going. I feel like I'm doing the Neo dance, going, woo, stay away from, ooh, don't get hit with that, ooh,
I just want to
don't move
lock my
that way.
door and just not even people until it's all well and done because I'm like, nope, 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 nope.
Well, I know retrograde might affect people like that, but if
It does.
somebody is, it's personality that's probably affected even more by the retrograde, but the personality may be already there. I've noticed it,
It brings things
in
to
real
light.
life around me. I'm not going to say on YouTube or Facebook because, like,
Right.
I'm noticing more here, in my
Yeah.
home, out in my community, and everything like that. That immaturity, people that like to be the center of attention, people that
Well, it's not
are,
just retrograde.
yeah,
Eclipses
no,
and
I
full
think it just makes it
moons
worse.
can do this shit too.
I just think that the retrograde and the full moons and stuff like that can pull out the worst in people.
Yes.
And especially if they're little whiny people anyway, and like, oh, look at me, and why isn't anybody paying attention to me, and nobody likes me, and everything. Well, if you don't like yourself and you keep saying nobody likes you, they're not gonna, because you attract that into your life by saying it.
Well, and that's
Yeah.
what I was saying before about retrogrades for me is it's a time for clarity. Everything comes to light. I start to see
Mhm.
people for how they, how and who they really are.
Yeah.
I start to see situations for what they really are. And
Yeah.
Mhm.
sometimes that can be very, saddening because you're having to swallow this truth pill that you weren't ready to, and that's where the negative part comes in, but ultimately it's something that needs to be done. So that's always been my experience with retrograde is to have things brought to light that I've kind of maybe been in a little bit of denial over or whatever, or start to see somebody the way other people see them and have to accept that that's who that person is. That's a
Yeah.
lot of my experience, and sometimes even things in myself I have to own up to and just be like, no, you are that kind of bitch. Damn it.
Well, and that's up to
But
you. Do
Yeah.
you want to change it or do you not want to change it?
yeah,
People that
and
don't see themselves, I mean, I know some
Well,
people that
and
don't
that's the
see
thing.
themselves as
Yeah.
being assholey-ish, but they
well, you
are.
see, and that's what retrograde is really about. It brings up an issue. It makes you rethink that issue, and then it makes you make sure that that's the response you're going to carry forth.
Yeah.
It's actually a time of, instead of the saying no backs, you actually have this time to rethink, refocus,
Hmm.
rework something, change something. It's the start of the shadow season. It's a good time to reflect on inner stuff. A lot of shit was in Aries, which means about the self. And so that means taking it, going in and looking within.
Replanning your course of action,
Right.
absolutely.
And,
Rethinking your decision.
exactly. And if um,
Well, and
you
it's
reassess who you have in your circles around you. You reassess a lot of things in life. You reassess your financial affairs. You reassess your living arrangements, your lovers, your friends, family. You reassess family and how you're dealing with that. You reassess a lot of things. Just,
Right.
it gives you the opportunity, and you know what? We should be doing that on a regular basis.
Yeah.
And generally,
It's
those people that tend to get hit really, really hard with it aren't doing any of that reassessment.
well, and
And that's why it's
Well,
like,
I don't know that I would agree with that completely because last retrograde I got hit pretty hard with stuff, and it wasn't due, in my opinion, to a lack of not of reassessing and whatnot. It was just communication breakdowns all over the place.
yeah.
no, I'm talking about if people who get hit the hardest, just because you got hit hard did not mean you got hit hardest.
That's true.
I'm talking about the people who have no clue, and then boom, it's like they get decapitated by something because they have been ignoring something. They were not paying attention, and they were refusing to look at an issue or a problem, or
Take the
look
lesson that needs to
within,
be
or
learned.
I mean,
Yeah,
these things can be, depends on what part of the chart it is, what issue it's going to be. um, Communication breakdown can happen to anyone at any Mercury retrograde, because Mercury is about communication. So
well, and it's
that,
what it's what you choose to do with that information. Just like with me, I
exactly.
mean, I've had to look at myself lately and go, wow, I'm kind of an asshole. I'm kind of an asshole in ways that I didn't realize that I was such an asshole. And at first I was like, oh, I need to change this. I need to do something about this. And then I started kind of looking at things and going, but wait a minute, that is kind of serving me right now because there's kind of a point where I need to be an asshole because I need to be a little bit more selfish and focus on what I need to take care of instead of everybody else's needs. I mean, of course, my children come first, but what I need to take care of involves taking care of them and not, because I'm always the first one when it comes to friends or family that are in any kind of need. I jump up and run and put myself last on the list. And that's kind of how I ended up where I'm at now. So it's like, no, take that asshole energy and use it in a
Right.
way that's going to suit you, So it's processing that information. We get the information, and if we don't know what to do with that information, it can be pretty damning and it can be pretty damaging. But if we take that and work it in a way that's beneficial to us, then we can run with that. Because I mean, you have no idea. I just went through this. Oh my God! I can't believe that I'm thinking and acting this way, and what's wrong with me? And then it's like, wait a minute, wait a minute. No. That's how I should be more
Oh
often about
yeah,
more things.
because
You know.
yeah, it's not always about, that you were doing something wrong. Sometimes it's being aware of, okay, how can I be smarter about this? All right. So I have a negative aspect, but there's no true negative aspects about a person. It's about how you use that energy in the proper way. Just like there's no negative energy out there in the universe and in astrology. People will say, this is a bad time. No, this is the energy that's at play, and
Use
now
it to
you do
your
the
advantage.
work to use the energy correctly. You may not like it because sometimes it's like Saturn energy that's a lot of work or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that doesn't mean that it's not positive energy for your growth. It just means that, oh, crap, I got to work.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you always have Saturn somewhere in your chart. He's
Mm-hmm.
always there. It's never not there. It's just a
Yeah.
matter of whether you're utilizing it properly.
Mystic Moon is watching, and she says, I'm here, the Stalker Mystic. I can't be on tonight, have to watch the fire and going to burn the brush.
Oh, bonfire.
So she's watching right now. So, hello,
Hello,
Mystic.
Mystic.
Hello, Mystic. How are those hornets? Has she gotten rid of those hornets yet?
No.
There's a little bit of a delay between live and the
Okay,
YouTube,
I was
so
just going
we
to
might
say.
have to wait a minute for her response.
Okay. 'Cause
I
I'm
think she just
hoping.
got attacked a couple of days ago again.
Oh, no.
It wasn't as bad, but it was still any hornet attack is bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any stinging insect biting me is not positive.
Yeah.
Sorry.
There's no redeeming quality in that
No,
experience.
there's not. I'm sorry.
Depending on
just-
where you get stung,
Yeah.
too, has a lot. My husband was stung by a yellow jacket in a very unfortunate place.
Ooh.
Oh, ouch.
Yeah, 2 emergency rooms. He didn't like the first doctor. And let me tell you, that thing got huge.
He didn't like the first doctor? I'm sorry. I think I would have stuck with it.
I'm sorry. The nurse was making fun. She looked at me. She goes, "Ooh, that would be fun." This was years ago now. Keep that in mind. Years ago. And she goes, "Ooh, that looks like fun." She looked at me and winked.
Oh my
God. And he was getting mad. And the funny thing is when we went to the emergency room, he says, "Well, I was stung by a yellow jacket." And she goes, "Are you allergic?" He goes, "No, but it's really, really bad." And she says, "Where were you stung?" And he goes, and not mind you, my kids were little, and we were used to using the pet names for them and stuff, you know. And so he goes, "My dingy." So it was, but you know, the first doctor, you know, he went to was, you know, trying to look at it. He had these like little, they look like chopsticks or something. And then he said, "Oh, you'll be okay in a little while. Put ice on it." Well, he didn't like that. He just like, "Oh no, I think I'm gonna die. It's gonna fall off or something." So we were speeding down the highway, going, you know, to the next city, to that hospital, which the doctor pretty much told him the same thing. And that's when the nurse was making fun. And I was like, "That looks like bud." It's not a professional thing to say, but I had to laugh my ass off too, because you know, the yellow jacket nest, I mean, it just must have flew right up his pant leg when he was mowing the lawn. And
Oh my God.
yeah, I mean, you couldn't help but feel sorry for him. But of all places to get stung, come on,
Oh,
you
it's
know.
priceless. What was he doing out there?
He was mowing the lawn. He was mowing, and it flew right up his pant leg when he stepped on the nest, because they burrow underneath the ground. And the
Yeah.
best way to get rid of yellow jackets is when the sun starts going down, when they all return to the nest. You pour gasoline down there, light it on fire, and then dig up the nest once they're all burned.
Okay, y'all got some weird ass ones because mine just build nests on the house. That's where
Well,
my yellow jackets are.
there's different.
I know y'all got
Yeah.
some weird ones.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I guess they said we gave Texas rattlesnakes. We're not gonna give them the burrowing kind. I don't know.
Yeah,
Or
these
maybe
guys
we've
like to
never
burrow.
ran into them. I don't know.
And
Of
it's
course,
like
we
when you
also
step
had
on the nest is when they get you.
killer bees though.
Oh.
That was fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we get paper wasps out here, and they burrow in the ground, and rattlesnakes. Oh my God, rattlesnakes!
Yeah.
I was helping a friend clean out a backyard one time, and it was a VW body, just a bug body.
Oh
Okay,
no.
And
she
we
said,
went to
she
we
said,
went.
"Yep, got them sons of bitches."
Oh,
Oh
good.
good.
Yeah, we went to pull this car body up, and there was a nest of baby rattlesnakes. So my friend's
Ooh.
dad, what does he do? He goes in. Oh my God. He goes in the house and grabs a shotgun.
Sounds
Fired in
appropriate.
the middle of this nest, and his wife is standing on the back porch, and like half of a body of one lands on her shoulder because they just like up in the air. And next thing I know, this woman, all she had on was like her nightgown because they had woke her up. Next thing I know, she's running around the yard completely naked, screaming. Part of the snake body had landed on her.
Oh.
Oh, it was an experience and a half. Oh, yeah. No, we have the snakes and the ground burrowing wasps, and we have a little bit of a killer bee problem here. We've had a couple of attacks and stuff here and run-ins, but I've been pretty lucky. I've run into some bees, but they weren't the Africanized
Africanized.
bees. But oh no, Oh, and we have the big Mormon beetles with the big old pinchers. And we've had a few run-ins with those at my old house. I would go out in the backyard and there'd be these big holes all over the backyard, and it was where those beetles were coming up at night. I turned on the security cameras in the back, and you could see them go. They would get in the house though, and my youngest son's dad, terrified of bugs, terrified. And one night he was on the floor on his laptop, and he had his mouse plugged in and next to it, on the ground. And he reached to grab the mouse and instead put his hand on one of those big old beetles. And it sounded like a demolition crew was ripping my house apart. He got up, he got the broom, he beat the thing all the way out the front door, and was standing out on my front porch in his boxers just flopping it.
Flopping. Oh, Lord have mercy.
Yeah, even in the city, we still have our share of bugs and critters, so.
Oh, hell yeah. There's no stopping them. In Texas, yeah, it's everywhere. You can have anything here.
I see Spin talking. Spin, do you realize you're muted?
No, she doesn't.
I see her mouth moving.
Yeah.
It's like no one. She's like, why can't anybody hear me? You're muted.
No, yeah, there. I was muting it because I was coughing, but trying to be polite there. But anyway, I was pretty damn sheltered here. We don't have anything like you guys. You guys are dangerous places.
Yeah, you guys have like squirrels, huh?
We have nothing here.
Not
We have
even squirrels?
gophers and garden snakes, and we used to have rattlesnakes on the property, but we got rid of those when they built the wash. So.
Yeah, well, that's good. Because they suck.
Yeah, I don't think Mystic's there anymore because I asked her how the building was coming and she never answered, so she must be off now. But we still have 3, and I know I'm one of the viewers. Oh, there she is.
There she is. Oh,
She
no!
says, the old man called the fire department on me today.
I'm reading that,
Oh
too.
my gosh.
Oh, really?
Why?
Oh,
Okay.
That's her buddy. That's her bestie. Oh, no.
Did she take that thing?
Did she what?
Did she take that satellite and hack up? I would have been nothing left.
She
No,
says the
actually,
13th it
she
will
went to the
come,
county.
and then the 14th the roof.
Oh, okay.
Oh, she's talking about the building.
Yeah.
Okay, on the 13th it will come, and on the 14th the roof.
Yay.
Oh. I bet you can't wait. Oh, she said
Asshole.
asshole. She's talking about that old man.
That damn man would be in a box. I tell you what.
You know, when you're
something, he'd be afraid of me.
Well, you know, when you were a kid in school and the boy behind you kept pulling your ponytail, you'd go home and your mother would say something like, "Oh, well, that's because he likes you. Maybe this old man likes you."
Yeah, right. He had his stuff on her property, and he didn't like having to move it.
Well, he's doing that on purpose so that he has a reason to go and look at her and see her and say hello.
His house would be blown up. I'd blow it up.
I felt bad for her when she was saying that they were asking when she bought the place if he would still be able to walk his dog across her property and have access. And
No. Your dog can...
He has to remove it in 30 days.
Your property and stay the hell off of mine. Thank you very much.
Well, that's what she told him.
I say...
And being a single woman, she doesn't need to have somebody wandering on and off her property at their own free time like that. No.
Especially that creep. He's the creep. That guy's a creep.
That guy...
You know, here's an idea. I know you probably won't do this, though, because it might not look good, but, you know, you are a witch. Why don't you go to the Goodwill and to the dumpsters around and find these old baby dolls and stuff like that and hang them around your trees.
Right.
You know, paint like little symbols and stuff on them just to freak them out. The power of suggestion.
Oh, you know what?
Look like him.
All you need is some chicken foot, the chicken feet, and then you go along and you start marking some runes all over the fence posts, and you let him know you're pissed.
The only problem with the chicken feet is she's got raccoons.
Oh,
He's
she's
throwing the
hanging
chicken
witches'
feed on
bottles.
his property. For everything that his dog did on my property, there'd be a chicken foot on his property. So the raccoons would be on his property.
Right? Yeah,
I told
I
her
would
to
have.
make a witch's bottle and put it on the property line. That
Well,
way
she
it'll
did.
protect her.
Or she says she has. She's hanging a witch's bottle off the tree. She goes, a big one.
Good. He needs to. And I would be
And just in
dancing
case he's
around.
really, really stupid,
I
hang a
would
sign
be,
next to it with an arrow pointing to it saying witch's bottle. You
I
know?
would be dancing around that fire. Let me tell
I would
you.
have a little effigy of him hanging off a tree or off the side of next to my door or something with some little X's for eyes.
Yeah, like a little voodoo doll. Yeah, throw some in there. Or get a great big knitting needle and just shove it through there.
Use his sense of fear against him, whatever you gotta do.
Exactly.
Exactly. It's called psychological warfare, and it works better than actually
And
having
he
to
can't do nothing
something.
about it because you're doing it on your property and you're not touching him.
And then when the sheriff comes out, you say, "Because I made a doll." He has a problem because I made a doll. What are you talking about? I don't know where those chicken feet came from. Prove it to me.
Makes people look
Prove
nuts.
it's my chicken foot. I don't have no chickens around here.
I
Right?
don't know where it came from. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, I do. I'm a witch. It's and it's for cleansing and protection. It's for cleansing. You know how when you don't want people to know what something's really for, we always say it's for cleansing and protection.
Cleansing and protection.
That's right.
No,
Well,
that's when you make him be the crazy one. You let him know you're a witch so that when he starts calling and complaining that she's doing witchcraft on him, she'll go look at the police officer like,
what?
I think you need to take him in for
Whatever.
some
You mean,
evaluation. I
officer?
don't know what you're talking about. You use it against him.
This isn't Salem. This isn't.
Exactly. I'd be going, I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
This is part of the Spanish Inquisition.
I think he might need to go to an assisted living community. He's
Exactly.
getting delusional.
Yeah,
Does he
you say,
have
well,
an
he's been
administrator? Does he have someone to take care of him?
Ball up some foil and be like, yeah, there's where his foil hat is.
Basic. It's called Basic Sun Tzu, baby. Basic Sun Tzu. Art of War. Use what you have against him. Make him look like a crazy one, because when he starts screaming witchcraft, the cop is going to go, oh boy, oh brother. And
Well,
yeah.
then said he played the compassionate role. Well, does he have anyone to take care of him? I think he's getting a little bit delusional. Like maybe some dementia or some Alzheimer's there.
And she
So
says
do
when
you
the
need
fireman came, he said that no prop,
No problem.
just watch, no problem, just watch that it doesn't get higher than 6 foot.
So how tall is this guy? Is he about 6 foot? Maybe
No,
you
no,
should.
she's talking about the fire.
I know.
The campfire.
I know. Hold on. Okay,
Oh,
so
okay.
if he's
know
right
about
around
that.
6 foot, then maybe she should stake him there and use him as a guide. Just saying.
Makes sense. Yeah.
That way she can make sure it doesn't get too high, you know?
I'd say, I haven't seen your dog. I don't know what happened to it.
What was he taking pictures of?
And he cannot. He cannot. That is something he cannot do. I know this because when I was setting up security cameras, I mean that's something. It kind of varies state to state, but pretty much just about anywhere. You can't point a security camera at somebody else's private property. You can't take pictures on somebody else's private property. Like that's without their permission. You can't just go, and that actually falls under stalking laws. He can't do that. He can't be out there snapping pictures of you on your property. Yeah, you can definitely go after him for that because he can't be out there taking pictures on your property.
Should she ask him for the pictures first, or tell? I mean, if they're digital, tell him to delete them, or could she
Just
tell
go
the
to the county office.
Exactly. She should turn him in. He's doing that to her. He needs
and
to be
trespassing.
That's stalking and harassment.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Can't do that.
Just
That's
go to the
considered
county
terror-
office.
And it's called a restraining order.
Yeah, I don't know about up there, but I know here that's considered a terrorist act. You cannot do that. Yeah, no. They're real.
Yeah,
strict
just tell
about
her to
that.
go. She should just go to the county office and say that he's taking pictures of her property. And she says that he has got an entire file on her land, pictures and everything of everything that's been done to that land. That is so creepy.
Okay, well, that's
That's-
terrorism, and I would just say no, 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 no.
And there is
You
things in place
something,
about
you do
bullying
something,
too.
or I'm going to start a witch
And
war.
you need to,
It's
when
not
you
gonna be
see
pretty.
him, yeah, if you see him out there taking pictures of your property, start recording. Take pictures of him taking
Yeah.
pictures.
Start recording pictures of taking pictures of you. Yeah.
Hmm.
But you stay on your property when you do it.
Well, no, if she's taking pictures of him taking pictures of her property, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
that's a little different because if he's
Like,
harassing her,
just
and
make
you're
sure
proving, yeah, if
like
you're
it's
proving
Thursday at 12:45, whatever. This is Mr. So and so from next door, and I just
Keep a
want to
journal.
document that he is taking pictures of my property.
yeah, and ask him why are you taking pictures? Yeah, I would confront him
Yeah,
straight.
just welcome, sir. Why are you taking pictures of my property?
Yeah, can I help you? You know. Yeah, but record that shit. Just record
Y'all
it,
are
record
too
it, record
nice.
it.
I
Because,
just want to, for the record, y'all are all too nice.
well,
You
you know,
be getting your
people like
black
Oh no,
out.
it's
you should have heard the things that I was telling her to do when I was talking to her. There's plenty of things she could do to him that she just hasn't done yet.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, there's plenty of legal things that she can do to him that will. Oh, you know, I mean, it's one thing because there's nothing worse than having to constantly deal with the county and you know the legal side of it. I mean, he's gonna get real sick of getting served papers and shit, and he'll knock it off. He's gonna once
Especially if he's
they point
paying
out to him that
fines.
yeah, once they point out to him he's on the wrong side of the law with this shit, you know, he'll go away. Because if she doesn't go after him legally for it, he's gonna feel like he's getting by with it. I've had to deal with this kind of shit out of people before myself. And if you don't take the proper legal routes and have documentation for it, they think that they're getting by with it. They think that they can just continue, you know.
He wouldn't get by with nothing with me. Nothing.
Yeah, you know. I personally would have already lost it and went over and beat the shit out of him, but I also have kids, so I get all mama bear and shit. Like,
Yeah.
Scott,
No,
you're gonna have to watch the kids for the next like 30 days because I'm gonna be sitting in jail for assault. I'll be back.
Eventually I'll be back on my property enjoying it.
Yeah.
Eventually.
He just wants you gone. Well, you know what? Reverse it. What
Yeah.
he wants, you know, then he'll be gone. You won't have to worry about him.
Well,
It's a nice wall to put up
he
on
wanted his
properties.
satellite on her property. He wanted a lot of shit. He wanted an extension of his property without paying for the property.
Yeah,
That's what
he
he
had
wanted.
the opportunity to buy it, and he didn't, and he just wants to be able to get something for free and take
He
advantage.
wanted the land for free. That's all he
And-
wanted. Now
and
he's
when
bitter
she-
because he didn't get it.
Yeah, and
He's
when
being a
she
bully.
asserted herself and said, no, I'm not going to give you access to my property when she moved in, that was...
Well, and, you know, no one in their right mind even asks for things like that.
And
There's
some
something
people,
wrong with him already.
some people just go through life and haven't heard the word no enough.
It's called narcissist.
Uh-huh,
Yeah,
and then when they...
narcissist.
God!
No.
Take another shot.
No.
Then when
I
somebody,
end up marrying every one of them. Let me go up there. I'll marry the son of a bitch, okay?
right? And then when they're finally challenged, when somebody finally steps up and challenges them and says, no, there's boundaries and you can't cross them,
Apparently,
it's like it
his
fries
mother-
them out on a basal level. They don't know how to function. Yeah, oh yeah.
Yes,
Remember,
apparently.
it's like dealing with a toddler, and you have to hold your ground. If you give in to the toddler, what are you teaching them?
Yeah.
You're teaching them that there's a limit and there's a button that they can get to.
Apparently,
Finally
his
push.
mother told him he was special every day.
Oh, I agree. He is special, but not in the same way.
Exactly. Special for a mental ward.
Short bus. Special.
I would have these things all over my property.
So cute.
When is
I
that?
would, I would even start looking how to make those shrunken heads.
Yeah, I
They
wouldn't. I
would
wouldn't
be
have anything
everywhere.
that pretty out there. It would be some dark shit.
Yeah. Oh,
It would be
hell
some
yeah.
dark shit. It would be some. Every
There'd
time
be some ritual going on
every
and
time I
some
ate myself some
dog
fried chicken,
shit.
I'd keep those bones and be making some little wind chime shit out of them.
I
You're
would.
not gonna.
I
Oh,
would.
I'm not yet. Yeah.
I would.
Okay,
I
shut
would
up.
spend a whole shit ton of money just to buy one of those giant ass cauldrons. Yeah, and I'd have it on that campfire right in the middle of that circle, and I'd have stuff bubbling and boiling in that. Oh hell, fucking yes! He would not know what was going on next door.
Oh yeah. Oh hell yeah.
Oh, there
And
wouldn't
I
be a
would go
quiet
to the
night either.
science. I would go to the science place where you get all the science stuff, and there'd be all kinds of shit in that cauldron. Scared
I'd
the
be
shit
out
out
there.
of me.
I'd be out there in the dark, roaming around and all kinds of shit, just being fucking weird. I do that anyway, not even to piss people off. I'm just
And I
weird.
wonder what kind of dog and what kind of dog does he have? Because that would be the first thing I'd do. I'd go out and get the biggest son of a bitchin' dog I could find to eat that dog for lunch. Like, go ahead, you can walk on my property as long as my baby over here.
Get one of those the fenceless fence, like the shot color fence, so that they stay within your,
Yes, sure.
Rah, 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 rah. Come on over. Rah, rah, rah.
Exactly. And then Hooch comes out of your trailer. Son of a bitch.
Oh god.
That was a good movie.
Get you a
It was
pack of
a good
mastiffs.
movie.
Yeah, get you a big old pack of mastiffs, like 5 or 6 of them, just to run the property. Oh my god.
Your boys behind you there, Reagan, are having a good time.
Huh?
Your boys are having a good time.
Oh yeah, they're playing a game together back
Yeah, I
there.
was watching them doing the jumping up and down and stuff like that.
Xavier is so excited. He's always so excited. He's so cute. We're getting ready to start playing D&D again. Scott finally went and picked up his other books because we do a lot of gaming together. So.
I have an appointment in the morning I need to be ready for soon, or I need to be up and ready for when I get up in the morning. And you'll know, I'll go to bed early tonight, at least by 2:33. I keep telling myself I'm going to bed at a decent hour. I keep yawning, but...
Well, I learned my lesson with the DMV that if I have an appointment the next day, I really need to find some way to at least lay down or something, because by the time I got done there, I felt like somebody had taken me out, thrown me over the fence, and beat me like a rug.
Oh no.
Because it's one thing to sit here and, but it's a whole different experience to be 3 hours past your bedtime and be standing in line at DMV. Yeah, that was rough. That was real rough.
Well, I do know one thing. It doesn't matter what kind of shape I'm in where I'm going tomorrow, and the worse shape I look, the better.
Well, we gotta use what works for us, okay?
Yeah.
Whatever works. This is the art of the strategy there.
This yawn wasn't my fault. I watched Reagan yawn just now, and she made me yawn.
I'm still waking up.
I really
Who's
love
gonna
my
be
little
next to you?
guys. I love them. I
Those
love
are
the fact
so-
that they fit in my hand.
Those are cool. Yeah, they're a cool size.
Those are neat.
I love them. I got 5 of them now.
So who has their house decorated for Samhain?
I don't.
Anyone?
I've got a few decorations, but they're not up.
I still like my tree and my little tree that I have up in the corner. Oh, you can't see it. It's too hard.
I
to
made
see.
a
And
Samhain
my
tree
skulls
last
and
year.
stuff. Well, I have this. It's just a black wire tree, and it's covered in cobwebs on the top.
Mm-hmm.
Real cobwebs.
They're not real cobwebs this time, but but
Yeah.
thought that's
And
why
then
she was laughing, as they were real cowboys.
And then I've got my skulls and stuff. I don't ever really put the stuff away. Like my gargoyles stay out all the time. I mean, most of the decorations I have for the season are just part of my everyday decoration. And since I just have my room, I don't have my. Oh, that is awesome. Since I don't have
Yeah,
like, full
see,
house.
I have these all out, but these aren't Halloween decorations.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, most of the stuff that's my normal decor is considered Halloween decorations to most people. So, yeah, I didn't really. I do
Yeah.
have like 9 tubs full of stuff out in the shed. No, 12 tubs full of stuff out in the shed that are Halloween decorations because I've got a whole bunch of ceramics and stuff that are passed down to the family. So, but as far as like my normal stuff, it stays up year round.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
have it.
the stuff that I put up the other day is probably going to stay up. But let me go show you what my is because I had to fix it. So hold on.
Yeah,
My
Blue
favorite.
Blue was noticing my skulls the other day. Let me see if I can get up there. Let's see.
Yeah. I want to see
There.
everybody's stuff.
Yes,
Yeah, there's my
I love
skulls
that.
just stay up there, and then I've got like, let's see here.
and her Egyptian head.
Yeah, there's
Put
my
on an Egyptian head
little
where?
Halloween tree.
Where's your Egyptian head?
Well, there's
Oh,
two of them.
I've got a Tut and Nefertiti, and then
Oh.
I've got the infamous horse, and then I have a whole bunch of like mannequin heads, and
Oh, now that is
like
creepy.
wig forms and stuff. Oh, that's cute. I like
This is
that.
my favorite thing. It's a
Let me
skeleton.
see.
That is so awesome.
That is awesome. Yeah, I like that.
So I'm hanging this above my altar, because it's a skeleton key, and this is probably going to stay up from now on. But unfortunately, when I stored it, it kind of got warped a little bit, so I've got to fix it.
Unwarp it.
Yeah, I got to unwarp it.
Yeah.
Probably just lay it on a flat surface with some heavy books on it, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I have a heavy candle on it. I'm
you
trying
go.
to warp it back the other way.
Yeah. Let's see here. I'm trying
That's
to find
awesome.
a picture of my oh wait, where's it at? Whoops. I've got so much stuff everywhere. Come on. Trying to
I
find a
can't
picture
stop
of my
yawning. My goodness. Maybe I need more coffee.
Don't yawn.
You're gonna make me start yawning. Stop it.
Right.
Don't say the word because I'll do it just if you say it.
Oh no.
Do you ever listen to yawn?
So,
You yawn when someone says yawn?
yes, I sometimes will yawn when somebody says yawn.
Yeah, I have a bunch of little like ceramic things. Here's, I think this will work. Let me see. Here's, oh, hold on. There we go. Yeah, like these little guys. And I have a whole bunch of spider votive candle holders. I've actually got quite a few different ones. I've got some that are beaded and some are just little metal ones like that. And yeah, all that crap. And then these guys, I have 2 of these guys. Let me see if I can find a picture here. That my grandmother gave me, and I absolutely love them. Hold on. There. Oh, I don't know if you can see it. I think it's going to give you like parts of the picture, but they're gargoyles, and they've got like a little like dish area in the front of them. So I keep like herbs and stuff in them, and those are like they're a standard on my altar. Right now they're sitting up on a shelf, but I have a pair of them. And they used to, at my house, they sat outside the back door on pillars. So yeah.
Awesome.
Those are cool.
And once again, shit somebody gave me that I didn't pay anything for was free.
Free stuff.
That's the best kind.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
And I have like all these like shell necklaces. I don't know, really my thing.
Well, I did buy this year my Day of the Dead stuff because I've wanted them for 30, 40 years now. And so no one can tell me no anymore, so I did. So
Yay.
this is my treat to myself this year. It seems like every year I collect something that I do, like But for years it was Christmas stuff. Um, but I go through each year has a different kind of theme. Like I'll collect ghosts, or I'll collect witches, or I'll collect gingerbread men, or I'll collect, for some holiday. I single out one thing that I collect up, and the things that bring me some kind of I have a connection with in some way. So
Yeah. I collect. We won't talk about the kind of shit that I have so much stuff because my house, like it was bad. It wasn't real bad. I just had a lot of stuff. I collect salt and pepper shakers, and I have some really cute Halloween salt and pepper shakers. And I've got one. It's a little cat sitting on top of a pumpkin, and they're magnetized, and they come apart, and the cat's salt and the pumpkin's pepper. It's really cute. And then what was the thing? Oh, and skulls. Like, I don't even know. Everybody knows I collect skulls, so I have like boxes and boxes and boxes and boxes of skulls of all shapes, sizes, and kinds.
Well, if you ever want to send anybody a little bit of love, man,
And the only thing that I'll actually be digging out of the shed is I'll probably put up like I have like orange and purple lights. So I'll probably get those out because I usually do. And then I absolutely love covering everything in cheesy cobwebs, like the bags of cobweb that you stretch. I have a fascination with them. I am terrified of spiders. We all know this, as was documented the week that I decided to jump up out of my chair and just about the flamethrower to my room over the jumping spider. But I love spider webs. As long as they're the fake kind and I put them there. But yeah, it's kind of weird not having a whole house to decorate, so I'm trying to like incorporate a little bit here, a little bit there, and
I'm going to be in New Orleans for Halloween at the Witches Ball there, and I normally have to decorate early for every season change. But with somebody moving in and doing all the consolidating and all the stuff that I had to do, it just didn't get done this year. So I had to do just minor little things. So it's just one of those things, and I'm like stressing out because I'm not sure where I can put a Christmas tree then, and the Day of the Dead stuff made me happy so that I could survive not having it fully decorated for Samhain and stuff. But I'm not going to be here anyway. I just want and need to put up my ancestor altar and that kind of thing going. So I will get things done. I've just been so busy, and then with all the extra stuff.
Yeah. I started setting up my altar on top of my dresser, and I got about halfway there, and I stopped because I have so much stuff I have to find another place for. So it's pieces, parts. I've got like my tray up and my candles and stuff out, but it's not. And I've got my sword. Well, Scott's sword on the thing. It got warped. I was so sad because his big sword. I don't know if it was from the heat because it was standing in the back closet where it was warm.
Uh-huh.
It's the sheath and everything is warped.
Oh no. Well, because of Mercury retrograde, and also because I was doing ancestor work for part of my shadow work that I'd already started.
Mm-hmm.
My grandmother's china cabinet came to me. I haven't even cleaned it yet. I just filled it. But right here is that tape on it where they tape the. I have to get the goo gone and get it off the glass. But I got my grandmother's china hut returned to me. I've been having a great couple months. So.
Yeah. See, it's warped.
Oh.
Just a little bit, but enough to where I notice it. I was like, man, that sucks.
Well, maybe when it's real hot, you can make it do it the opposite way.
Yeah, well, it's wood, so I think I can wet it and.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But just like do it with pressure when it's real hot. you know.
Yeah.
Place a book on it or something heavy again.
Yeah. The blade's fine though. It's just the sheath, and it's loose enough in there to where it's not bending it. So, but I was like, no, why? Oh my god. Okay, so one time, I don't know if I've told this story before, but it was hilarious. It was Beltane one year, and we had a group ritual, and there was like 60 people, and there was a wedding in the middle of it. We did a wedding before the actual ritual, and one of the elders was in from out of state, and he's a sweet old man. He's such a sweet old man, but he's got the shakes, and he had a big old like two-handed sword, like made that one look like a letter opener. And he was casting the circle, so he's walking. We're standing in a circle, and he's walking, holding this blade over our heads. And it was Beltane, so we had all started drinking at like 9 o'clock in the morning. And so I'm standing next to my friend Sean, and here comes this guy. And he's got this, and Sean goes, "Oh my god, Reagan, I think we need to swap that out for a pool noodle before he splits somebody in half."
Oh my.
We were dying. It was great. Nobody got hurt. I don't know how, but nobody got hurt. But it was just, I had the giggles, and I'm trying not to, I mean, it's a serious thing. We're having this, this ceremony, and I'm just like, oh man.
That's funny.
Way too much mead and way too much waving swords. I couldn't take it. Died. I was passed out.
There was somebody in the news, what was it, 2 years ago? And it was a sword accident, and she had been performing a ritual in the park with a huge sword, like your sword.
Yeah.
She stabbed herself in the foot. I'm like, how do you stab yourself in the foot? You didn't know your foot was there before you throw it to the ground? What the hell is wrong with you?
Really?
God, she went right through the top of her foot.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. Oh, it wouldn't have helped.
Oh my God. And she had no choice. That hit the news, so there was no denying or, I didn't do that. I don't know who you're talking about, but I didn't do that. No, there she was, Fox News, all proud of it. I'm like, oh
ever
my
live
God.
something like that down. You never live something like that down.
I would have said,
Yep.
I had way too much mead. I was a little bit drunk, and I would have confessed to drugs. I would have confessed to anything.
Yeah, I confessed to like some
Stone cold sober and did that.
No.
Shit.
Yeah. Oh no. Well, at least she didn't decide to convert to Christianity and say that the devil made her stab herself.
Oh, I don't think so. Well, I don't know. I didn't see her after the news report.
Satan, maybe.
Well, Westboro Baptist Church would be all over that.
I don't know. I'm not going to go that far. I don't know that to be the case.
Wrong religion.
Neither confirm nor deny that she left the community.
I will never confirm or deny that one. No. No.
That's so funny. So we're up to 4 watchers now.
I saw that.
Hi, people.
I know it's Mystic, and I know it's Blue.
One of them's me.
And Reagan, but I don't know who the fourth one is.
Oh, person.
The fourth what? I missed something.
We have 4 viewers.
Oh, well, one of them's me.
I know. And one of them's Reagan, and one of them's Mystic.
Is there anybody else?
I don't know.
Wave and say hello.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Quick, say something while she's gone. I'm just kidding. Who is it?
Mystic, are you still there with us? I heard a dink.
Because I got muted.
Oh, somebody got... Who muted you?
Jen, she likes to hit that mute button.
I did nothing. You have no proof that that was me.
Yeah, I do. Guilty by association. Guilty by
Well, we're
association.
all associated with the mute button.
Constant, chronic mute button thing you have going.
All right, who now?
I'm a witch. I know these things.
There, I muted you.
Okay, somebody muted Spin and she's stuck.
Yeah, that's Reagan. They're in a witchy war.
Oh, she just.
Oh,
No, she's gonna get back on unmuted. That's why she's good. She's not stupid. She knows what she's doing.
I have all the power over here. I can do all kinds of things.
Oh,
I'm not
you
even
ejected
hosting.
her? Did you eject her?
I did not eject her. I just
Oh, okay.
did. No.
I was gonna say.
Well, that was nice.
I didn't eject you. Why are you muted? Why are you muted?
I didn't do it.
Are you still
I'm
muted?
busy. I'm lighting a cigarette.
I muted you
didn't do
once.
it.
Was it? That was funny. I was like, where the hell did you go?
Someone kicked me out.
I didn't kick you. I just muted you.
I was gonna say they've started their own witchy war. Stop it.
Yep, that's it.
There will be no witchy wars under my watch.
We pool noodle dueling. Oh my god.
I'll send my deities after you.
You know, if you really think about it with these witchy wars that they're having and stuff like that, you know, I mean, wouldn't it be really cool if they could just combine their efforts instead of picking and whining and bitching about one another, to combine their magic into doing good in the world as a whole? You know, I mean,
There's
there's
so
so
many
much.
Reason they have
issues
a
out there.
community.
There's
Huh?
some.
I said they could at least combine their energies in doing something good for the community. We look like crazy ass women. And it's only, I'm saying women because there's a lot more women involved in this crap than men. But that's what it looks like, is that we're a bunch of crazy ass women.
Yeah, it's mostly the women that are fighting amongst themselves, and it's like, come on, you know.
I'm crazy, but I ain't fighting against nobody.
I'm too
You
lazy
know,
to fight with
I'm
people.
a say it is like it, I am a. Excuse me, I'm getting tongue twisted again. Thank you, Retroface. I am a say it like it is, like I see it. I call what I see. I don't look at a duck and say it's a puppy. I'm sorry. If it's a duck, it's a duck. And you know, I don't sugarcoat anything. And whoever's watching, if you're part of the drama, if you are acknowledging negativity that you feel is being sent towards you, and you're just acknowledging it instead of ignoring it, you're an idiot. Plain and simple. If you are addressing it or you're answering to it, then you deserve whatever bad feelings you get, because it's just so easy to ignore it and hit delete on the comment. You know,
And the thing is people only have as much power over you as you give them.
exactly.
I mean, as long as you're playing party to it, it's just going to continue, and that's why. I mean, I don't have the energy to hate other people. That takes effort.
I'm not even going to comment on this crap, because that's all it is. It's crap.
Yeah.
And to comment on it is acknowledging it. And why would you acknowledge? You ignore the bad behavior. And I don't care if somebody's trying to stick up for somebody else or trying to tell somebody this or that or the other. It's just like, why waste your breath? They're going to do it anyway.
Minimize the bad, accentuate the good, move on with life, focus on things that are actually going to get you somewhere, you know.
No, but instead what we're hearing and seeing is claws coming out.
And it's not even just as, you know, as women, as human beings, we should be uplifting each other and being supportive. You know, I mean, and I go out of my way to on Google Plus. There's like the YouTube creator community over there, and I find people that are just getting started or that have been started for a while and just can't quite get a hold, and I make sure and go in and like and comment and share their videos and stuff, and
Right.
and try to help give them a little bit more confidence and stuff. And it's just like with Scott, he's just getting started with his vlog channel because he wants to, he likes doing this, and he's comfortable
Yeah,
with
it's
like streaming.
12-second video, right?
Yeah, his his
I
first
want
video.
to clarify something, though. When you say we need to support one another, I agree with that. However, I do not believe we need to kiss each other's asses either.
No, there's a big difference
know?
there too. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
And I
at
want
the
to clarify
same
that
point,
because people
it's
think
like,
that, oh, we're supposed to be supporting me. No, I will support you when I feel you're in the right. But if you're being an asshole, you're on your own, dude.
yeah,
You
but the
know?
thing is there's nothing wrong with the healthy debate, and that's the difference. That's where people get mixed up, is if somebody challenges me, I respect that because I have no problem admitting that I'm wrong. And if you can show me where, if we can have a debate, and even if we ultimately agree to disagree, that's still healthy and normal because now you're showing two sides to an issue or to an opinion, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's when people do this wounded animal bullshit
And sneaking
over.
around behind each other's back and nitpick,
Yeah.
nitpick. And,
Well, I just want to chime in here. Blue, when you see a duck, it might be a puppy because I might have changed it to a duck. So it might not be really a duck. Just wanted to tell you that because,
going, woof, 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 I'm going
it
to say,
might really be a puppy because I might have changed it to a duck because I like ducks.
no, but I mean, in reality, that was,
we already went over that earlier today, that I like ducks and I'm not big on dogs right now.
and you like your duck eggs.
I do like my duck eggs.
That's right.
I don't know if I would like puppy duck eggs, though, but we'll have to see. I might have to change all these dogs that they got running around in my neighborhood because nobody likes to take care of an animal, but they all like to own 15 of them. I might
Okay,
have to start changing them into ducks so I can get me some duck eggs.
there you go. Get you some duck eggs, and that way you don't have to step in dog poop in your yard when the neighbors let their dogs run loose.
Duck mess is not very pleasant to step in, but it's really good for your plants.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's great fertilizer, yes.
Dog
fertilizer.
urine kills things for some reason.
Huh?
Dog urine is, well, it's good for weeds. It'll get rid of weeds. It'll kill everything. Any plants or anything around dogs, and they lift their leg on it day after day, it'll kill it.
Yeah.
Not in my backyard. Got
Well, in this part of the country, it seems to.
Yeah.
But no, still yet. I mean, dogs are nice and everything, but now that my kids are grown up and gone and everything, cats are just so much easier for me to take. Dogs, you have to walk them and wash them and stuff, and it's just easier. The cats just do their own. Well, wait a minute. They do their own thing, but I think I became the slave.
We don't own cats. Cats own us. As long as you understand that and you follow that rule and logic, it's fine. And I'm looking around because I know any moment.
You see these memes all the times about cats, and they're like, "You're my human." My cats look at me and go, "You're my can opener."
Mm-hmm. I just need a puppet with some opposable thumbs. Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. That's all we are. We live with them. They don't live with us. And I get reminded of this all the damn time. But
I ought to trade you in for a duck, Willie. He's ignoring me. He's good at that.
Yeah. No, I have
Okay, so it is 10 o'clock.
It's 11 for me.
Do I go off live?
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 hours is good.
Okay.
Covered a lot.
Good night, Mystic, if you're still watching.
Buddy.
Good night, everybody. Bye,
And
Sexy.
I would send those hornets to your neighbor.
Yeah.
Right up his pant leg like Blue's husband. Enough said. Good night.
Nice.
Oh, I'm hitting the wrong button. I'd also change his dog into stuck.